What is going on, you beautiful bastards? This is Unnecessary Rambling. I'm Brandon Sylvia. Today, joined by two beautiful motherfuckers in the building. We have retro rivals, Mr. Scott, Miss Jen. How you doing?
Hey, good.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, drinking beer, having fun.
This is my first beer in like 2 weeks, man.
Really?
See,
Is it really? You know, everybody thinks I'm a damn alcoholic there. I swear to God. Even my friends there, we'll have a party here and I'll
what
be
did Mitch
drinking.
say to you?
He's at the end of the night, he's absolutely obliterated. Like
Every night,
yeah,
anytime we get together.
And I'm like, oh, he's. And I look like I haven't even drank yet because I'll drink. I'm a casual drinker. I'll drink maybe 4 or 5 beer over 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I'm still talking like this. He's like, yeah, but you got way better tolerance. I'm like, dude, I drink maybe a couple beer a weekend. Usually when I'm filming a YouTube video or like when Dennis comes over and we'll play a game, we'll have a couple beer. That's about it.
That's it.
I don't get like smashed. I do. Brewing beer is a hobby. I enjoy it there, but I'm not like brewing a batch of beer every week and then pounding her down.
Yeah, trying to get rid of that keg.
Yeah.
Dude, I got obliterated. I was watching the with some buddies watching the Israel Adesanya, the UFC fight a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And man, I don't drink often at all. I'm just not really like, I used to love drinking and all that, but as I get older, yeah, I have zero tolerance, dude. And a buddy brought over like a 24 case of Bud Light or whatever. And I'm just drinking them. It's like fucking water, it's not really
Bud water.
Yeah. And so I'm just drinking them casually, whatever. And next thing I know, the 24 case is gone. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like looking around. It's like, oh, only me and him are drinking this. He goes to the store, gets another 24 case. We kill that as well. It's just me and him drinking this. Next thing I know, I'm having deep philosophical conversations about shit I cannot speak to. Fucking dude, I was wrecked. Oh, just totally wrecked. I've never. I like black. I do not remember the main event. I don't remember the Michael Chandler Dustin Poirier fight. I was blacked out, dude. Woke up the next day, I was like, I blacked out a fucking Bud Light.
Jeez.
I'm gonna need to check myself.
Yeah, dude. It was.
You come up here, there. You better pace yourself.
Well, you got that Irish in you.
Oh yeah. Irish and Scottish.
Yeah.
I was born to drink.
I was born to drink.
Yeah.
That was me Halloween party. I pieced out to my own party.
And how many drinks did she have?
4. 4 and 2 shots.
Oh, okay.
And 2 shots.
Liquor's different, man. Liquor will get you.
Oh yeah.
See now,
I was drinking this.
Whatever. Anyway, you want to have a deep philosophical conversation? Be the only guy drinking beer, and the rest of your friends all go get fucking high as a kite there, and then come back in, and they want to just talk like deep philosophical, and I'm like, dude, you're fucked up. And they really just want to talk, and I'm like,
and you think you sound so smart when you're high. You're like,
oh yes,
we come from monkeys. We're no different than the dead deer on the road, man. It's like, what the fuck up? You ain't saying anything.
Yeah. I can't smoke though. I get bad anxiety. I have like panic attack.
God, hilarious is what it is. I just get like, I've done it twice in my whole life, and I just get kind of giddy a little bit. That's about it.
And then falls asleep.
And then sleepy.
Yeah, I guess I used to a lot when I was younger. I used to do all that shit a lot when I was younger. When
we all did.
Yeah, from 15 to like 20, right before I turned legal to drink, like really from 15 to 20, every single weekend, just every single weekend. And it was, fun and all that. But by the time I got 21, when it was legal, I was like, I don't know. I don't really, I don't want to do this anymore. It all that shit just, like you said, Scott, I started getting real anxiety about that stuff. And like, I'm going to a club and the music's like fucking matching my heart. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. Is that my heartbeat? Am I having a heart attack?
It's really loud right now. I wonder if anybody else can hear it.
Dude, Red Bull and vodka, that I used to hit that like heavily. That was what I went with heavily. And
yeah, buddy.
I would wake up and I swear to God, I could like see my chest just pulsing. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Regardless, I'm not gonna make it. I eat Whataburger fucking 4 times a week. So this world is not long for me, but Red Bull and vodka, damn sure, is not gonna help.
No, definitely not.
But I want to I do want to kind of jump back. We were talking for a little bit before we started the recording. And I do want to jump back to your guys' thoughts on, like, because you've been doing YouTube since like 2019 or so up to this point, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something summer 2019, I think it was. Yeah, I think so.
So
I'm ready. Hang on. I gotta go tell my son to stop fucking running laps above me here. I don't know if you guys can hear. I told him, I said, we're gonna be recording at 1 o'clock. Don't be pacing around above me.
I don't.
Alex! Oh, he stopped. Stop pacing! Okay.
He gets bored in his room, so he decides to run a lap around, like.
Well, or kind of. You can literally walk like through the living room, the kitchen, the dining room. You can do a lap. I swear to God, he just does a circle up there.
Go outside,
getting his steps in or something. If you're down here doing one of these, and you're like, that's all I can hear, and you just, I swear, you can just see my face turning red. I'm like, I'm struggling.
Hell yeah. So you started about to be going on 4 years at this point. Where are you kind of at with that now? Like, how are you feeling about the whole landscape of doing YouTube? We talked about it a little bit ago. Is there any adjustments you've learned over this time period? Any lessons you would pass on to someone starting up one now?
I think when everybody starts YouTube, they have this 1,000. They have that 1,000 subscribers in mind. And however you get there, and we all like trip fall and we're like, oh, okay, was that the right thing to do?
I think there's 2 ways you can go about YouTube. And then you can go ahead and do your thing. It's either A, you can do it because it's going to be a hobby, it's going to be fun, it's going to be a way to interact with the community, people enjoy it, whatever. Or B, you're going to jump into it, hoping to become YouTube famous, make money. This is going to be a career.
Yeah.
And when
how many B people are there?
Yeah. So then if those people start looking at what's trendy for kind of the videos they make, and they want to get on that because they need the algorithm to catch on, they need to grow, but you're not necessarily making stuff you want to make. And at what point you just have a job? Yeah. So for me, I can't say a whole lot because I don't do the real work on the YouTube channel. This is Jen does all the work, the editing and stuff like that. For me, it's 100% hobby. At first, it was like you want people to like you. It'd be cool if we could grow, if I could get a little bit of money to actually be able to put into equipment or buy games or something like that. But it was never for me, never going to be a job. No. Now it's more like I'd almost have to compare it to like what Facebook was supposed to be. Now it's like we have friends across the world like you that, we interact in comments and videos and stuff like that. And it's nice to see the views on the video because you're like, oh yeah, people like that video, but it's better to see genuine good comments from like 20, 30 viewers than it is to have 10,000 views, and just kind of no connection with people.
I think you get into it initially hoping, I think everybody has this like, dream of maybe getting big on YouTube, and oh my God, what that would be like. But I think if you miss out on the idea of finding your community and finding your people, you're really missing the biggest, best part of YouTube. And I think the gaming community in YouTube, I don't know that there's any other genre in the YouTube whole sphere of things that really acts like the gaming community. Like you can really make some great friends in this community, and we have, and that's become everything to us. If I didn't get another subscriber tomorrow, but I still got to interact with everybody, like I talk with Do You Nerd on
It's like a daily basis.
Like an app on the phone, and which I didn't even know how to use, but he taught me how to use it. And like, I talk with people on Twitter and Instagram and
I don't do any social media at all. It's all Jen. If you get a comment there, it's from Jen.
Yeah.
And it's obvious because if it's a generic, like your dad sent you this text kind of a message there, that's me.
Yeah, Scott, I'm very similar to you. Like, I'm not a active social participant in any of the spaces, and like that's been a real struggle for me, like trying to figure out how to navigate that lane of like, I'm just not really great at all that stuff. If you meet me in person and we're talking and bullshit, and I'll have a blast talking to you, but I don't like texting. I don't like typing. I don't like any of that shit. I'd rather just like watch your phone.
I don't like talking on the phone.
Well, when you finally got Twitter, I was like, holy shit, dinosaur, you're the youngest dinosaur. And you finally got Twitter. But then you had told me you had it before, but it can be overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming.
I think it can be consuming. Like it just consumes their day. Like,
well, I feel bad when I don't have time to get back to somebody immediately, and then I'll forget, and then I don't want them to think I don't value them as a person, and then it really becomes like an issue for me where I'm like, I feel really, really bad. I don't want to put that on anybody else, so that bothers me.
It's a shitstorm, and I've always been like that with just communication in general, forgetting to get back to people and just all that stuff. Even with work, I struggle with it at times. I just don't have that like receptor in my brain where it's like, okay, remember to do this, this, and this. Like I just kind of go about my damn day, and I just end up where I end up, flow around. But like you were talking earlier about, and I think we was discussing about time management and how you like make time for games. And something that I find really difficult with YouTube is like, okay, this obviously it's a hobby, it's fun, it's a passion, but like it's time consuming as fuck. And you know, whenever like I sit down, I pretty much one take my videos, make little chops up here and there if I fuck something up, and then I'll add the clips. But like that's after everything's all said and done, maybe a 4-hour process to get a video out.
Yes.
And it's like, add that on top of the social pressure to interact, add that on top of the understanding of going, I may never make a dollar out of this. Like I can understand how, and even for me, you know, with closing down Easygoing Gaming, a lot of that is the thing of, it's like, this is so time consuming.
Yeah.
And it's really rough. So how do you balance the free time, gaming time, YouTube time? How do you find that balance, or do you even find that balance?
I think
she's probably got her own system. I am like, I don't know. I'm weird where I'll have my day planned out.
Yeah, he's very planned. I'm planned too, but you're a big fan.
I have, before my weekend starts, I already know what I'm doing all weekend. It's already planned out, you know. And then when I get up in the morning, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm doing the whole day. So I just schedule my time into play games at that point. I don't have to do the work on the YouTube channel that she does.
Yeah.
So it's different for her. So
I will loosely kind of plan things out and try to meet milestones, I guess, more than anything else. Like I won't say this completely has to be done today, but I'll be like, okay, if I have to sacrifice getting some of this today, what else did I achieve in my day? Was I able to get this done? Was I able to get this done? To meet an end goal at the end of the week of trying to get everything done. Because I used to do like, I'll put a video at this day and I'll put a video at this day. Well, then I would be on that day going, oh my God, I'm not even close. I'm going to put out subpar content I'm not at the end of the day happy with, just to get it out. And then as far as gaming goes, to try to play games, it's become a little bit more difficult because we got a puppy, and you know, I realize that's a responsibility. He has to be taken care of. He has to go for a walk.
Now, saying that, how many games have you finished this year?
Oh, I'm on like game 40 or 41 for the year.
Yeah, like,
I have found time.
He has 2 jobs, does YouTube, you know, you have a kid, have a puppy. She still makes time.
The way I see it, if all my responsibilities are done, everything's in check, I can come down here and sit down, and I don't have to explain to no one how I spend my free time. You want to sit in front of a TV, you want to go for a run, you want to go to the mall, be you, be happy.
Play on social media for hours on end.
I don't care. Do you, whatever makes you happy.
Dude,
That's
y'all are
gaming.
Yeah, you're spot on, because I hear all the time, like, I don't have time for gaming. I don't have time. And it's like, I don't know if you value gaming. You know what I mean? Like, and that's okay. But like, you know, you like your TV shows, you like your sports, you like your whatever it is. I just don't think it's really that hard to find 2 hours to play. And I'm not saying every night, because I know we're both fucking, you know, way into the weeds with gaming. We try to prioritize it a lot more than most people. But like, I do think if you like video games, that you can find time to play video games. It's just like you said, you might have to quit scrolling for a minute. You might have to quit watching your damn Netflix show for a minute. And then you don't have to do any of it, because it's just a friggin' hobby. But it is that thing where you hear all the time, I just don't have time for gaming. And I'm like, I don't know if you don't have time or if you're just not using your time wisely.
Yeah.
I know I'm guilty of, I'll throw something on TV that I'm only half paying attention to, but it's just background noise. And then I'll get on my phone at the same time. Like,
you can't do that.
Can't tell me that's like, I'm pissing away time at that point. Like, step away. You know, for me, I have a harder time trying to find time to read my comics. So I get comics every week. And I'm way behind on my comics, but I need it. I need quiet. I need no chaos. I just want to sit down. I want to enjoy this story. You know, it's harder to get that than it is to sit down in front of the game. I can plan the games out easier.
Yeah. And I think too, and it's probably more pertinent to men, that if you don't have a spouse that's understanding of your passion, then it's going to be harder to find time for that. And I know there was probably a time, when I wasn't as into gaming, and you would play games, but I never really put any stock into what you were doing. I was like, whatever he's doing. I didn't realize how great it could be. And it's going to sound weird to some people that don't prioritize gaming or don't put a value on gaming. It really changed me. It's weird that it did, because you would have told me this 4 years ago, it literally changed my life. I'm not even joking. For the better. I don't stress about shit anymore. I don't care about what other people think anymore. Was I not just like,
you had bad anxiety? She's the type of person, if you like, because you probably know her better than like your viewers would. Like, she has so many damn hobbies. Like, for her, like, her hobbies are work. Like she paints, you know, she was making cakes. And she was doing photography and stuff. Like, it's all still work. Like, the girl couldn't sit still and enjoy herself or have some downtime there and burn herself out. And then now she kind of gives herself at least, I don't know, a few hours every week, you know, to sit down and like have just some fun time, fun. Like, when people say they don't have time to play games, you don't have time for fun. The majority, what are you doing?
It's so nice to escape into somebody else's world, and then you come back out of that and you're like, shit, my life is pretty damn good. Like, I don't have people chasing me around all the time trying to kill me. So you know, I don't know. It's a beautiful thing if you're into it. If you're not into it, then find that beauty in your life and get fully immersed into it, and then create time for it, because you should
find something you enjoy.
You need to find something that's for you.
Yeah, you have to, man. And like, even, you know, talking about watching television or sports or whatever, like, I have, you know, a small TV set up, and then I have my bigger TV for my game, and I'll watch, you know, NFL next to the game. And like, you know, a bit, say fourth quarter, the Chiefs and whoever playing, it's a close game. Like, I'll pause the game for a minute and finish the rest of the NFL game. And I'm not saying like, you know, everybody's going to do however and whatever they want to do. Like, you don't have to make that time. But I do think that it like you said, for me as well, it really helped my anxiety to have this escapist hobby that really, there's nothing else that takes your full undivided attention quite like gaming, in my opinion, because with a movie, you're sitting there, you're a passive it's passive entertainment. You're just sitting there and they're telling you everything. You're not really contributing to anything
No.
that's going on. So like my brain is still going crazy while I'm watching a movie because I'm not doing anything. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. Totally agree.
I really have found that I do think gaming is just naturally really helpful for anxiety and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
It is.
I find I started a new job in July, and the job is like physically demanding on me. So
Yeah.
much to the point where I was coming home and I was so tired I didn't even want to play a game. And I would just sit on the couch, I'd watch TV until I would pass out, which would be like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
7, 8 o'clock at night. I was passing out. So I was just literally work, sleep. And I did that for probably a month and a half or something. And I was miserable.
But
and
you
then
were
I
filling your
started
happiness meter back up.
yeah, yeah. And then I started like getting used to the work a little bit, like physically,
yeah.
so that I wasn't as tired. And then I started having time for gaming, and I was like, geez, I didn't realize how much I needed to have that time.
Yeah.
Because I was so like stressed out and miserable. I was hating my job and stuff. And now like I've got time again here. I'm getting back into the gaming again there. And I feel better. I feel so much freaking better.
And I know for you too, you used to struggle around this time of year.
I
depression.
Yeah, not to put a downer on the podcast here or anything there, but
I think this would help people.
I had one really bad year where I had 2 surgeries back to back, and literally my mom passed away all within a month.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went depression, and then it kept coming back like every year around the same time, and it did for a bunch of years. But the last, I would say 3-4 years.
3-4 years since we started YouTube and
really
playing
started.
more games,
Yeah, once I really
fun.
started YouTube and really prioritizing like.
And YouTube brought
games.
us closer together too. No,
100%.
we've always been close, but we have this new passion.
We have a hobby together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's just special.
Yeah, it is kind of like I watch a couple, like we're both fans of Tom Segura and, you know, his podcast with his wife, Christina P. And like, there's a few other podcasts that I listen to every now and then, like Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane. And like, there's a few couples who have podcasts, and there is like that, I don't know. It feels like when I'm watching it just feels like almost therapeutic for them as well to like get in there, have something to discuss, have a hobby to share together. Like it's cool to experience that from afar. Does it feel that way to y'all? Like when you sit down to record, does it feel like, damn, that's a nice little release?
Oh my God. Yeah.
It is. And it's also fun to go back and watch old videos that we've had a blast doing. They're like some of the best, or some of the videos that we enjoy the most have some of the lowest views. Like it just didn't catch on for whatever reason. There's not the thumbnail or the title, or people didn't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
But we'll sit here, me and you and Denis and some other friends, and we'll sit here and watch it, and we will laugh our butts off. It's just hilarious.
It's like a time capsule of like, look at us when we were younger. Like this is what we're gonna look back at when we're 50 and 60. And I've saved all of our final edits so that if anything ever happens to YouTube and the content's not there, I have it still, and we can go back to that time and look at it. And it's really like, it'll lift you up. It's fun to see.
Like, I don't know if you've ever watched there. We have 2 or 3 of them, and we called them like
the drunken rants.
Drunken rants.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've got a good buzz on there. We're feeling pretty good, and we're just it's comedy hour. Like it really is. There, we're just letting loose.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's so much fun.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that's it's cool to hear that though, because it definitely does feel that way. But I want to transition into, I know that we were all early adopters of this new generation of consoles, the PS5, the Series X. How are you feeling? You know, we're about 2 years into it. How are you kind of feeling about that purchase for those two consoles?
I have stronger feelings about it, so I'll let her go.
Let me say something first. Yeah. Do you feel to a certain degree that we all had to be early adopters because we had a presence on YouTube? So there was this responsibility to have those systems to try to highlight those games?
Not for me.
Not for you. I thought you would probably say that. For us, I felt like at the time, the growth we were in our big growth period at
Well,
that
we were
point.
going quicker at that point.
Yeah.
Like we're at a snail's pace now. So.
And I think I'm happier now because I'm not so focused.
We're not focused. We're not making content for.
We're making content
YouTube.
for us
We're
more
making content
and
for us,
our regular viewers.
Yeah, like there's a strong group of people that are always commenting, and there's a good connection there. Those people like us for like what we like to do.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to continue to go with.
Exactly.
You know?
So at that time, I think we bought those consoles. We wanted them, but we also felt we were supposed to.
Yeah.
Like in a smaller sense, or gave us validation for spending that much money. Either way, I know what you're going to say, so I'm going to let you say it because I feel the same.
All right. I'll start with PS5. PS5, I don't have any regrets getting the PS5. It was probably put out a year too early. It could have waited another year.
Mm-hmm.
It should have dropped
another 2 years.
Yeah, it should have dropped with a bunch of exclusives. They can blame it on whatever they want to blame it there. COVID seems to be the popular thing to blame. Yes, the big scapegoat.
Yeah.
But I know those exclusives are coming, and I'm looking forward to them.
And we do have some, like we have. Yeah. I know the Last of Us remake is kind of a weird one because really didn't need to be remade. And then we have God of War Ragnarok, which are two, I guess, bigger titles.
Yeah.
But with Xbox,
I have way more stronger feelings. I am a big Xbox guy. If you come in and look at my game room, I have a lot of Xbox. Original Xbox 360. Yes. My bar is decorated in Xbox. I have a great big Xbox sign behind our chairs, like a lot of Xbox. When the Xbox Series X came out, they promised like backwards compatibility is going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. We're going to continue to grow with this. We actually did a video, and I have numbers. I haven't watched that video in a while, but we actually talk about how many games, original Xbox were backwards compatible. It was in the 20s, low 20s or something like that. Yeah. The Xbox 360 had, X amount, which was a fair amount of games.
Yeah.
And then I heard not that long ago that Microsoft is like, they're putting that on the cost. They're not doing anything more with that, and which completely pissed me off because I'm a collector and I have a big collection. I have machines to be able to play them all now, but I was hoping to future-proof my collection there with this machine. So I feel like I was sold a lie. I was sold this machine that is going to be, they're really focusing on backwards compatibility, and they completely given up on it for whatever reason. And they have fuck all for exclusives. Library sucks, to be quite honest there. If it wasn't for Gears of War, I wouldn't have enjoyed that machine at all. I do love the Gears of War. Me and my son love that series.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So dude, you're spot on. I bought the Series X number one because they bought Microsoft bought Bethesda, Obsidian, Ninja Theory, all that. But number two was because of that backwards compatibility. That was like the big selling point for me, because
that was my big selling point. This was before they bought Bethesda and all that stuff there. I had the machine before I think they bought that. And then I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this is going to be good. We're going to get some real good exclusives, and they're coming, but how long am I going to wait for it there, really? And are they going to be exclusives? We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And then their library just absolutely sucks, and they've given up on their past stuff.
And they gave up on a lot of OG Xbox games that are great.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what pisses me off? That they have not only given up on 360 lists, but when we did that video, and then when I checked 6 months later, there was less games. There was a smaller number. So they actually, if they took games out, probably for licensing or whatever.
Yeah.
But the OG list, I know he's talking 360, but that OG list
is just sad.
Small.
Yeah, it's sad.
And there's so many great games that I wouldn't have even realized there was until we started collecting them. Yeah. And for a long time, we were really hard into collecting.
Oh, it was all about my Xbox.
It was all about the OG Xbox.
Yeah. That's my favorite console to collect for. Like
Yeah.
for
Such a
sure.
great console.
It's so cheap. They're so
Yep.
affordable,
Mhm.
and there's so many great
Mhm.
titles, especially like
Yep.
their exclusives. They had weird, just off the wall, like Circus Maximus and all that crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they really went in on some weird stuff, and to just see
Oh,
that
yeah.
like gone, because I know that you guys, like we talked about earlier, kind of prioritizing gaming. Like, you know, I have my OG Xbox hooked up, y'all have yours, but a
Mhm.
lot of people, they have one TV where they play their modern consoles,
One
and
console.
Yes.
they're never going to get to experience, you know,
No.
these classic titles, and they may want to. You know, it's nice to have your Knights of the Old Republics and etc., but like
Yeah.
to just leave this legacy behind when you had a program that was dedicated towards that, it is really bizarre. But like, to my kind of thing with the PlayStation 5 is like, what the fuck are y'all doing with your backwards compatibility thing? There's
I know.
nothing.
PS3, that pisses me off so much that they have just given up. I know they have
it's
like,
sad.
aren't they doing something more kind of like a Game Pass where they are starting to bring some of those PS3 games on there, but
It's streaming.
yes, it's streaming. I don't
Yeah.
want to stream. I have like a full shelf of PS3 games. And I tell you what, they're like, I have 4 or 5 PS3s.
Yeah.
And
Now, one of them is
because
backwards compatible.
yeah, I don't have one of those backwards compatible ones, but I have to future proof my collection as
Yeah.
much as I can, and I do try to maintain my machines. But I'm having problems with one of them right now, and I'm like, hey, they're all gonna die eventually because I'm not that tech savvy to keep them going forever, right?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really bothers me. They should. I'm shocked that they didn't even consider that. It seems a little bit egotistical to think I don't need to on PlayStation. Like, doesn't it feel like that to you? Like,
it is that.
Yeah, I find you can't tell me that they can't make a machine that's backwards compatible because you can emulate the damn thing now.
Yeah.
Like the emulation is pretty decent from what I understand. You know, definitely PS1, PS2, and PS3 is like a little spot on here and there. There's some maybe don't work 100%, but it's getting better. If they can emulate it on a PC, some of these consoles, the newer consoles, are pretty powerful. I can't see why they can't emulate it.
You're Scott, 100%. If PS1, PS2, that should be a fucking given. I understand PS3. Yeah, PS3.
There should be no reason why I can't put a PS1 game in that PS5. Like, it's a fucking CD basically, you know. You're putting it in. There should be no reason why that can't download it. Like, what would the emulator, the size, like memory size, how much would it take for memory on your hard drive for the emulator to run the PS1? You know,
exactly.
Nothing.
It's a weird thing. And even like hearing Jim Ryan say things like, well, who wants to play that when talking about the classic games? I'm just like, dude, what?
How do you think you got where you are?
Exactly. You are the king of the fucking market because of your Nintendo as well. King of the market because of your classic titles. And like to not preserve that and to not have that around. And I know, like, look, most people say, well, you buy your modern consoles for modern games, but it's like, well, right now there isn't any fucking modern games that you can't play on your PS4 and your Xbox One. So it's like, give me another incentive to boot this damn thing up, man.
Yes, exactly.
Really, it's like Microsoft. They want to be Netflix. That's what they want. That's
they
what
want to be the gaming of Netflix,
and it's great. It is great because me and my son, we played through Descent. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't have enjoyed it by myself.
Yeah.
But there are games like that where I can play with other people because it's multiplayer, and it's better that way than I can play like by myself. I would have gave up. I'm like, it's not capturing my interest there, you know. But we played through Descent there, and I enjoyed that. Like, it's free. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
great.
Exactly. Yeah. Xbox is your Game Pass machine.
Yes.
It's 100% your Game Pass machine.
That's what they want. They want to be Netflix. You know?
Yeah, to me, it's really my Game Pass. And then, like, I have the same complaints as backwards compatibility that you were bringing up, but like, I am at least grateful that I pop in Deus Ex Human Revolution, I pop in Max Payne 3, I pop in, Bayonetta, and it's like I get to experience, because I missed out on a lot of that 7th generation stuff. That was when I was in high school and just being a fucking idiot. So like there's a lot of that where I don't have knowledge of. So to be able to boot that up with my Series X and not have to go through all the rigmarole to hook up the 360, yada, 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 that is nice. But it's this thing where we feel like, or I feel like I'm constantly sitting here and we're going on where we're passing the 2-year mark, and they bought Ninja Theory, all that's Ninja Theory. They bought Tango, or no, Tango would have been with Bethesda. They bought Ninja Theory, and who was the other? Compulsion. They made that big purchase around 2018. So it's like,
Yeah.
what at E3? So it's like, how is it taking from 2018 to 2023 to see like some of this stuff come to fruition? State of Decay 3, like a Perfect Dark. Like, what is going on?
How long does it take to develop a game? Like there are some big games that take like big years.
Oh yeah.
But not every game. Like, you can't tell me you can't be like throwing out some stuff there that are more B, B titles.
That's the thing. Money talks, and they're gonna go where the money is.
You know what? You know where the money is right now, and it's lazy, and I love it and hate it at the same time. Is they're just remakes. Let's just grab a popular title.
Yeah.
And we'll just remake. It's already made. The story's already there. This, that, and everything. We'll just.
You talked about it, Brandon, on one of your podcasts, and I so wish, like, I enjoy some of the remakes. I really, really do. And I'm excited for some of the ones coming out. But why not give me titles that I can't otherwise get unless I somehow inherit?
She literally said these words to me just yesterday, the day before. And this is what I told you, is like, it is only about money. So you want like Kuon for PS2.
Kuon. Yes, I want
Rule of Rose. Guess what? It wasn't popular back then, and if they're not going to put the money into a remake, like, you got to realize who's making the decisions for these companies. There's like people sitting in an office there.
Yeah,
probably don't play games.
What's our biggest title? What
they don't give a shit out of the fans. They look at numbers on a spreadsheet, and they're looking at profit. That's all they want. They want profit. Last of Us, profitable. Just remake it. People will buy it. Easy money.
And it's true.
Days Gone. That didn't do so well. We're not going to make a sequel.
Yeah. I think they might have just recently sort of overestimated the fan base's loyalty to them, though, because for a while, for me personally, look, I think that PlayStation first party stuff is top tier. Like, PlayStation first party, if they put something out, like, I'm gonna check it out. Even stuff like Returnal, which wasn't first party at the time. Then they bought Housemarque, but whatever. I was like, okay, let me check this out, because if PlayStation's behind it, I'm interested in why that is. Returnal's not for me, but it's still like that kind of idea remains of, if they're behind something, I want to check it out. But I think the fan base, when you start seeing this remake, and when you start getting into like Horizon remakes, a 2017 game, it's like, okay, I think the fan base is going to start being a little bit more hesitant to just jump into these things,
We can all agree that's a beautiful game that doesn't need a remake.
No,
it's being greedy.
Exactly what I said. They're looking at numbers on a spreadsheet and saying, easy money. Then they get some influencers on YouTube, and they'll hype it all up.
Yeah, dude, there's a real problem with it, and I'm not calling anybody out, whatever, but like,
I know exactly how you feel, and it has been irritating me here over the last 6 months to a year.
I think it's because your time is very precious, and you're bothered by.
I am absolutely irritated by some channels that just they don't come out and they don't say that they're it's a paid for ad, but basically it's a paid for ad. They're like, whether the game has been given to you or whatever, it's been you're obligated to say something favorable for this company. You're bought and paid for. And I have a really hard time trying to watch channels now that don't play their games.
Yeah.
They don't play their games, that they're hoarding games, or shelf collectors. Yeah. I call them. And I'm a collector too, and I have tons of games that I may never get to because I have so many of them, but I'm constantly playing my games. I play for, the time I have. I'm an adult, or at least I pretend to be, right? Like I collect games that I'm going to want to play, hopefully at some point, somewhere along the line. And there's games I'll play, and I'm like, once I finally get a chance to play it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time on. The first 6 hours, and I'm gonna trade this game. I don't want to keep this in the library.
Well, and you touched on something where like this is very, this is a standard where people, they get their review copies, and obviously, you want to hit embargo, you want to be at the top of the SEO, get the most clicks, yada yada yada.
Yep.
But like, I don't know, man. If you're not paying for your game, there's just a inherent sort of understanding of like, okay, I got this review code. I'm not saying that you are maybe it's not even a thing that you're conscious of, but like you're kind of in this world of like, okay, well, what if I shit on this game and I never get another review copy for from Bethesda or from whoever, Sony, and it's like, and IGN, GameSpot, they don't ever have to worry about that. They're the top of the top of the top. But like some of the smaller creators, it's like, you'll see them like calling something the greatest thing ever, the perfect game. And you even see that with the big content creators, the IGNs and all that. And it's like, I'm not saying that I've done that before. You'll, by the time this comes out, I'll have talked about Evil West. I just gushed about that game for 10 minutes, whatever. I absolutely loved it. But like,
I think I know what game that is because I was looking at a trailer.
You would love that shit.
See, I think I kept comparing it to it. This looks like it was made off the God of War engine.
Yes, it is very similar.
Yes,
it's got a lot of that Gears of War and God of War energy. Dude, you would fuck with that game so heavily. It is like no bullshit, just straight action.
I want it. It's one of those, we're trying to be good. We're not trying to buy a whole lot of games right now. So I'm going to wait until it goes down in price and grab it. Or some family members are going to give me some GameStop cards for Christmas. I may grab something like that. I don't know what I'm grabbing yet.
I have to ask you, and you can cut this part out if it ruins any future talks you're going to have. Callisto Protocol. Should I ask my mom to get it for me for Christmas or not?
Well, I really feel like a fucking asshole because I booted it up last night and I saw that it had like a big update. So I ended up just finishing Evil West last night and I let the update download. So I haven't dove into it yet.
Okay.
I
will have a chat at some point.
Yeah.
Christmas is still a little ways away. So I got some time.
What I will say though, is that
I'm concerned.
Yeah, I get you. I am too. But what I will say,
aren't great on it, eh?
They're not great, but neither is the Evil Within 1 or 2. Neither is
true.
Outlast, or neither fucking
I'm
Alien
like that with
Isolation.
Movies. I'm like that with movies. I don't really go by like, oh yeah, it's got X, the critics
like
say
a 3%
this
on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm probably going to skip it.
Oh, what? You know what? There's movies, especially dumb comedies, that I love that have like under 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I fucking think they're hilarious.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, yeah, and you also have to take into account, like, especially for comedy, like, I know this is a tangent, but like the people reviewing comedy, they actively hate funny comedy.
Yes. Yes. So one person can't speak for the masses. Like you're obviously going to be swayed in one direction always as an individual. Like I'm not going to review an RPG as favorably as you would review it. I'm going to review, or I would be harder on a survival horror that maybe you would be.
Or you may love it more than the average person.
Exactly. So
you can appreciate it for different factors.
Yes, it depends on where that information's coming from, what that person's likes and dislikes are. It's like you said, with Evil Within 1 and 2. They didn't, but I love them. I couldn't stop playing.
I wonder if it had something to do, like, because which one was it? I haven't played them, but I seen her playing them. I was playing something else on the other TV beside her.
Yeah.
Which one started off hard?
Evil Within 1.
One.
Necessarily
one started
hard.
off like stupid hard, and then once you got past that, it was good.
I'm like, what is this leveling system of like, I'm going to start out and it's super hard, and then it's going to get way easier.
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
A lot of the complaints about the Callisto Protocol is that it's really difficult. So like that's something to critics are just like, you have a very select few. You have your 2D specialists who they know how to play those damn 2D games. You have your Souls specialists, they know how to play Souls games. You don't see a whole lot of survival horror specialists who really know how to play and review survival horror. So it's like, okay, were you going into the Callisto Protocol wanting The Last of Us? Because technically that's survival horror, but that's not what this, like, the Evil Within.
I know technically it's survival horror, but like, if you I'm desensitized from survival horror. I see it on the TV all the damn time. Like, that's not survival horror.
Yeah, I can't make a judgment call on the Callisto Protocol yet, but I do just kind of wonder if reviewers who went in weren't like survival horror
proficient.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'll DM you and let you know. I'll play probably 3 hours of it today, and I'll let you know what I think.
You
know
what? I just had an idea.
Okay,
because I got a little buzz going here.
Let's get it.
You and Jen and maybe I don't know who else is like hard into the survival horror stuff. You guys should have like a group, and you guys together do like a review on a survival horror game. The new game that comes out. You guys you all play it. You all get together. You all rank it and talk about what.
That would be fun.
I'd be so down. So down for that.
Because who's your friend that does a lot of indie games?
Jeffrey. Yeah, he actually he closed down his YouTube page as well. Yeah, it's a day of that dude.
Didn't he have quite a lot of subscribers?
Like 15K.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yeah,
just wasn't sparking him joy anymore.
It's the thing, man. It's like, look, it's a lot of time and not a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's no money.
Yeah.
Very little.
I enjoyed when you guys would talk together, because it like felt like sitting down with two friends listening, talking about survival horror.
Well, I think
that third friend, that fly on the wall.
That's when we're all younger, that's where we got all our recommendations for games was from your friends.
Yeah.
That's what we need. And that's what, like, just a suggestion, like, YouTube, a couple other channels.
Yeah.
And like, I do my community picks for my, whatever game I'm going to play next there, and I'll let the community vote. And it's like having friends recommend. I pick 3 games that I'm very interested in playing. What do you think is the best game out of that? And that's what my community pick is, right?
Yeah,
I love that idea. That's the one thing I miss about not having the damn Easy Going Gaming is the community tab. I miss that little fucker, man.
Yeah.
That shit was nice to have, the little polls and all that. But it's I would be so down to join a survival horror group and review some games like in a podcast format every now and then when a big title comes out. It's just, especially like,
there's not a lot of support for survival horror, right?
That's exactly what I was about to say.
It's a niche. It's a niche thing there, because a lot of people, we talk to a lot of YouTubers, a lot of gamers that they don't like being scared. They don't like it.
Oh, it's such a niche group too. From my perspective, for females.
Oh,
yes.
I'm an oddity. I'm not. I try to talk to people when I go to Canada Post. If I'm working with other women, I'm like, we're not talking games today. And even if I'm working with other men, I'm like, we're not talking about survival horror today. Like,
Call of Duty.
Yes. Please play. Like, I do have one guy. He's a younger guy that I talked to, and he was like, I played that game you wanted me to play. I'm like, you did. And turns out he was playing Dying Light because he doesn't own a PlayStation machine. And I was like, I wanted you to play the last.
Jeez.
I was like, did you get to the part in the barn where he's strung up and you have to click the clickers away? It's like, I don't remember that part, but do you remember the part when you had to parkour and it was a timed event? I was like, I don't know what fucking you are playing. We finally realized it was 2 different games.
Dude,
but yeah.
Jen, I got to give you a shout out, man. Like, I really think that you have become, like, I would say more of a real survival horror fan than even me. Like, when I look at the stuff you play, and like, you're into, like, you're finishing Tormented Souls, and you're finishing these games that, like, I played Tormented Souls, like, this is fucking difficult shit with the map systems and all that.
It is.
And you
Jen,
know,
resource management and tormented souls. Oh my gosh.
She's a patient gamer for those type
A
of
modern
games.
game.
She does not care if she dies 20 times
Doesn't matter.
on that one stage, as long as she gets through it eventually. But to play a retro game has zero patience for dying.
Brandon, I wish you could have been a fly on the wall with me. Like, I made a promise to play 10 games this year, more like retro games. I think I've made it halfway through, and I'm not.
Did you play 5?
Maybe. I don't know. Definitely 4. But I tried Castlevania Bloodlines, and I put some time into Tyson, and I was like, these games are fucking pissing me off. I don't want to have to memorize shit. I don't want to do that for the same reason I got a friggin' teleprompter, because I don't want to memorize scripts. So I don't want to memorize game.
yeah.
Like, it pisses me off. I just want to experience the game. If I die a bunch of times, I'll at least learn something from them that I learned nothing.
Still memorizing for
yes,
each
but
death.
I learned nothing from having to start completely over. I learned that I'm really
you
pissed
hate
off.
the fact that there's no infinite continues.
Yes,
there
I
from
do.
that other save.
I do.
That's what you hate. You got no patience there.
Please make my retro games modernized. That's all I want.
So let me ask you this on the back of that. So what would you say your console split is, Jen? Like, if you had, and I know y'all have a ton of consoles, but if it was a 100% pie chart or whatever, what would your split be like? If or let's just say like retro
Easy
and
question.
modern.
Easy question.
Oh, I think I've played more retro this year than I have in the last few years.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
You barely played any in the last few years. That's like,
yes, that's true. But it depends on what your definition of retro is, because I've had people say to me,
that's a hot topic there, right?
Cartridges.
I consider anything 20 years and older. That's
Me
retro.
too.
But then again, like,
but then you get the people that are like my age and older, and like, if it's not on a cartridge, it's not retro.
But you can have an early PlayStation or Xbox OG game that could be considered retro if you're cutting it off in 20 years.
Yeah.
But then some wouldn't be. You know what I mean? Because they
I
didn't
just
make
use
that
the 20-year mark because that's what a lot of people consider antiques when it comes to like cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, 20 years.
So, but I'm saying if you're going to go console, you have to say PlayStation 2 through the library. You can't say, well, these PlayStation 2 games are 20 years old, but these ones are.
Well, I go by the
that.
console. I go by the console. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I think PS1 is retro.
Because
Absolutely.
I think PS2 is like pretty damn fucking close to being considered that. And it really depends on the age of the person you're asking what is called retro.
PS2
because if I ask my 15-year-old son, is this PS2 retro? Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I wouldn't play that old thing.
Like, I'm playing God of War 2, and I'm immediately going into God of War 3 right after, because I'm so pumped for it. I'm loving God of War 2, and everybody says God of War 3 is way better, and I want to play. I'm really enjoying God of War. I want to play all those older titles before I get into the more expansive open world, newer God of War titles. And I'm scared. Like, I'm scared I'm not going to like them as much as those retro titles.
They're going to be different, but you're going to like them.
Yeah, there's some instances where I like the retro more. But no,
I had a really, really, really hard time getting through the first, like, we'll call it God of War 4. Just so everybody knows
2018.
what we're talking about. Yeah, or 2018. I had a really hard time getting through that. I actually stopped for almost a year and then picked it back up again and started playing it again. And then I had to stop again for probably a month or two and then picked it up again and finally finished it. It took me a long damn time to get through that game. It's probably over a year and a half to finally get through the game. It was just, but when I got done the game, at the end of it, like, it saved. I enjoyed the game and I was excited for Ragnarok. But I be honest with you there, like, after playing God of War 3 and I jumped into that, it was such a big change. I had a hard time. I was like, it just feels like I'm wasting fucking time here sometimes. It's just monotonous.
Yes.
This game could have been 10 hours shorter.
I totally agree, dude. This is a weird complaint. It's not a complaint, it's just an observation, but like, I just feel like Kratos looks fucking ridiculous in the new version of Kratos. It's like It's like Triple H took fucking white paint and like a fucking and a crayon and just marked up his damn like
game.
Yeah, but like back in the day, there was this almost comic book sort of flashy style to God of War, and now it's like this old, depressed, fucking crayon painted face motherfucker, and it's just like. I don't know what it is about that, but it's like I have such a hard time getting into you as a character, like with the surrounding parts, the Thors and the even Atreus and Freya. Like I find all their characters so interesting, but Kratos he's just boring as shit to me now. I don't know why.
He doesn't seem like the same person, and I haven't played the newer games, but I've seen stuff. I am loving OG God of War Kratos when he's like, he looks like he's coming to save you. No, he just needs your body for something. Maybe he's going to kill you. You're done. You're just something to get from point A to point B. You're dying today. And I love it. I love it because it's not the character you expect him to be, but it's so hilarious.
It's like the anti-hero.
Yes, and I love the anti-hero.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, okay, just staying on this topic of PS5 modern stuff for a second. Is there anything like in the future that you guys are looking forward to that kind of makes you go, okay, well, at least we have these consoles for this, and this?
I don't know.
I'll get right off there. I have a list of games on a whiteboard upstairs. Like literally, when I see a game that's coming out, so I don't forget about it, I'll write it on the whiteboard so I can eventually pick it up. And they're mostly RPGs. So
I feel like a lot of them are on the Switch.
There's a lot of them on the Switch, but there's also like there's an Octopath Traveler 2. I think that's gonna be on PS5.
Yep.
I think that's PS5. I'll be getting it on the PS5. So Switch people don't, Nintendo people don't hate me. I would much rather prefer to play it on the PS5 than on the Switch.
For sure.
Yeah,
that's just me because I don't like the Switch controllers.
Scott, I remember you saying that Miles Morales didn't really hit you quite the same way that 2018's did. Was it just the smaller size of it, or was there like any sort of gameplay?
Because I really like Miles Morales in the comics.
Yeah,
I have his comic, the first appearance of Miles Morales. Comics, like I don't.
They didn't do it justice.
It didn't give him enough time in the game to
develop
his character.
Yeah,
it just felt like a DLC. It was like, what was it, 5 hours?
Yeah,
like it was too damn short, and because it was 5 hours because I didn't want to have to go and do all the stuff to get every stupid little suit upgrade and this and that I had already done with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just recently, like was it within that year, same year, because I got the one late. Yeah. It just, and there were some fights. There are some highlights in that game that I really loved. There's some good fights in that, but it was just, it could have did so much better. It could have been so much better.
It could have been more. Yeah, for sure.
So are you looking forward to, the Insomniac's version of Wolverine or Spider-Man 2? Are you kind of just soured on it a little bit?
No, I'm not soured. I'm because I'm a comic fan there. I love Marvel there.
Wolverine and the Hulk are your
I'm not going to go run out and grab it day one just because
it's going to be available.
It's going to be available. I'll wait and see what the reviews are. I'll watch some gameplay to figure out if it's something I want. I love Wolverine's my favorite Marvel character.
Yeah.
So if that has any indication there, like
you don't have a Wolverine tattoo, but you do have a Hulk one.
Well, the Hulk tattoo, I have a Hulk tattoo because my son, when he was 2, he would sit on the floor and we would play with the action figures, and he kept calling Holt, and Holt was his favorite guy. So I got a tattoo on my calf
for Holt.
Hell yeah.
That's so
sick. That's super sick. So I think that, and by the way, Jen, we were talking the other day in the comments about that damn Marvel Midnight Suns game.
Yes.
I walk into GameStop last night. Fucking
on sale?
No, hell no. I'm a fucking, I'm an idiot. I pay way too much money for this shit. I can wait 2 days and it's $10. I'm a fucking moron. Right? But I go in, I pick up the Callisto Protocol, and I'm like, Did you get it? You guys got a copy of Midnight Suns?
Oh,
Got the damn Midnight. There's no chance I'm going to be able to play half. They're saying it's like 70. No chance I'm going to be able to play half of that game. But
I'm in the same fucking boat. I still haven't played Forbidden West. It's still sitting on the backlog.
Once I decide I'm playing a game, I'm in.
yeah,
I just finished a 76-hour game.
But seriously, seriously, shouldn't we all? We know what AAA games.
I will tell you what I played, but you're not allowed to. Depending on when this video comes out, if you're allowed to put it in the video. Okay, so use this right here is where you're going to cut.
Okay, well, hold on. So when are you putting out the video that you're going to talk about it?
If Scott wants me to put it out next,
I'm literally when we get off camera with you, we're setting up the other cameras, and I'm going to be talking about it. So within the next 2 weeks, I think.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna go in and edit this shit and like put gameplay and stuff in there. So it's gonna take me fucking forever to edit.
Okay.
This. Yeah,
okay. Well, I get to tell my story. I like.
Go ahead.
He's very excited. You're the only one that knows.
First
Let's
one.
go.
Secret there. It's been secret. I've been playing this game for a month
and it's been killing me because I talk to Moandain all the time.
There's your hint, Moandain. Okay. Can you guess the game?
Grandia.
Grandia. See, last Christmas, right before Christmas.
Yes. Oh, he's
Grandia,
the sweetest guy in the entire world.
Moandain sent us a gift.
Yeah.
And Grandia, a copy of Grandia was in there.
Yeah.
And I had all the intentions. I'm going to play that this year. And then my years started getting away from me. And I started
got
a new
a
job.
dog.
And got a dog. And this, that. Yeah. And Jen put in a video not that long ago where she showed a clip of that same video.
That was our last video. Just the it was. We were talking. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, just the last one.
And I seen it again. And I said when I opened the box up and got that game, I was like really thankful. I said, I'm going to play that this year for sure. And before I seen the clip of that video, I had planned on doing a community pick. And the community pick was going to be between 3 RPGs on the PS1. And I was going to let the community pick which one it was.
Yeah.
Grandia was one of them. Suikoden, the first one, was going to be on it. And Wild Arms, I think, was going to be the third one. I was going to let them pick. Well, after I seen that clip, I was like, well, fuck. I said I'm playing that game. I know that's a long-ass game. I'm not leaving it off the community. I'm playing that game. And I started that. Oh, when did I start that? It was in October. It was before my vacation.
Yeah.
Was it the first week of November?
I think so. Yeah.
So let's call it the middle of October. And I finished it.
It would have been last week or on Tuesday, because that was my last day off. My last night
Tuesdays just went by, so like 3-4 days.
You said I'm going to be done playing at 9:00, and it was 10:30, 10:45, and the credits were finally rolling on the game.
Yeah. So, final count on that was like 76 hours was the last save point I did before the last boss and the cut scenes and credits and all that stuff, and that's not including the amount of time the game's froze on me.
Oh,
now and it's not because of the game he sent us.
It's
because the way he was playing it.
Yeah, that's a game. That game does not play well on the PS2. You
have to play a PS1.
Yeah. I can't. I couldn't even tell you how many times. Between 5 and 10 times, this game froze on me. And the last time it froze on me, I was in the. I think it's called the Soldiers Graveyard or something like that. It was a hard dungeon. Just like one save point at the first of the dungeon. I was all the way toward the end. I beat the boss in it, and then you got to go and you get the weapons. And as soon as you open up the chest to get the weapons and stuff, more enemies spawn, and then the fucking game froze.
Oh, I felt so bad for him.
So then I really started looking online, seeing why is this game free? Because I'm looking at the disc, and the disc looked fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And a bunch of different reasons were given up, but it seemed to be the popular one was PS2. For whatever reason, the PS2 tries to load, I think what I read was tries to load multiple soundtracks, like we'll try to queue up at the same time, depending on whether you go into a battle or out. You know how it tries to, you have different music for each part. Something like that, it'll freeze the game on you. So after that, I put PS1 down.
And
I never froze after that.
Yeah.
Never froze.
It's so
played
weird.
through the rest of the game.
Wow.
Never had an issue. The PS1, yeah.
So what was what are your overall thoughts? Did you really enjoyed it, or I'm assuming 76 hours?
I really, you know what, and I'm gonna talk about this after we get off camera. I'm gonna go and talk about it on camera again. I really enjoyed it. It was the game I needed because, like I said, I had started that new job. It was really difficult. I was having a hard time. The few games when I get back into gaming after a couple of months of not playing, it was like struggling to want to play games because I was tired and stuff like that. But when I started this one, it was the game I needed. It was just a happy, good feel kind of a RPG.
Yeah.
Good story, good gameplay. The battle mechanics were good. Cutscenes were good. The voice acting was good. Like,
hell yeah.
I can't complain about anything there.
And I think it means a little bit more coming from such a good friend.
And it was a gift. It was a gift from a friend from halfway across the world there. Like, Moandain, I've said this before online. I was like, Moandain's the nicest guy on YouTube.
Oh my god.
Undoubtedly. Unfreaking doubtedly. That is such.
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
For sure, dude. We recorded a few months back and we sat here and talked for like, no shit, probably 2 hours off the recording. Just sat there. So kind, man. So kind.
Oh yeah.
I would be lying if I said he wasn't among other people, obviously. He's a big reason I want to go to Siege. I need to see him in person. I need to give him a hug. I need to like put my eyes on him for real and be like, kind of finally get to meet my friend. Like,
I'm not typically a hugger. I'm undecided whether I'll allow people to hug me or not when I go there. We'll see how I feel and how many beer I have in me.
Yeah.
The more beer I have in me, the higher chances I'll actually hug you.
I'm the same way, dude. I am very, very kind of standoffish if I'm not drunk.
Too bad you're getting hot.
I think I'm gonna go Moandain because we both live in Alabama. So he
you better. I'm like I when you had said it when you had said it the other
Jenny.
Yeah, get me some more. Right. When you had said it on one of your videos, or we had been talking about it, I'm not sure. I was like, yes, he's gonna go. And so I was like, automatically, I'm like, he's already going. So I already made that decision for him. It doesn't matter what he says. But yeah, there's so like I don't care. Like, I want to find games, but that's not my main focus for going. My main focus is to go find one. You want to find one really good game.
Like, holy crap.
I got to hear about that.
I have that in the collection.
Yeah.
Don't say that shit off camera, Scott.
And if I don't find that
What'd you say?
game, no big deal.
I said, don't say that shit off camera. I want it for the video. I want it.
Okay.
I want to hear,
you wait till you come back. He wants to hear what game you're looking for.
Oh, well, I don't even know. I got to go pee.
You don't even know because you have to pee? Does it, once you drain your bladder, it'll come back? Okay.
He doesn't know what one game he said. I want one game. I don't know what it is, but I want one. Or so is he saying like he just has a big purchase he's looking for?
He wants a big purchase.
Okay.
It could be any number of games. Like we have a wish list on price charting, and I know he would probably love to have Crusader Ascenti. I mean, wouldn't most people? I guess for me, it's going to be a big survival horror.
Yeah,
hands down. If I can get my hands on Kuon or Rule of Rose for a good price, then I'm going for it. I got Haunting Ground this year. That was a big deal for me. I wanted that bad, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's worth that much, but what was my choice?
Right. Well, what would your reasonable price range be for a Kuon? What is it even at now? Is it over $1,000 now, Kuon?
Yeah. And for us, even more, right?
Right.
I know Retro Gaming Pandemic put out a video just recently that they had seen one and they were asking 900. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's just around that on price charting. We get lucky because our pawn shops here are fairly reasonable. They know they're consumers around here. They know they're not going to get top dollar. We're not a rich province. So they have to ask below price charting. And so we get good deals. We're not getting great deals at thrift stores, but we're good deals at our pawn shops.
Oh, thrift stores.
Yeah.
Should take the thrift out of it.
Yeah, stores. But yeah, I'm hoping to put my hands on and some money on a really good survival horror that I know is not getting made anytime soon.
You look for Kuon.
Rule of Rose. I just said that.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah. Well, so what is like on your wish list, Scott?
Me?
Yeah, for your collecting.
It depends on how much money I have.
Well, let's
I
say
will
let's
tell
say
you,
no limit, no limit.
no
Well,
limit, no
yeah.
limit at all.
mhm.
I would love to have a just really nice copy, complete in box Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
I'm not
amazing,
surprised by
and that's
that.
way too expensive.
What's it running?
Oh, it's over $1,000.
Yeah.
Well over 1,000. I think it's 1,400 or something like that Canadian.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Another one that I would love to have complete in box is my favorite NES game, which is Double Dragon 2.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
CIB, and it's and we have the
A
game.
nice
We just would
copy.
love to have it.
I love to have the box art and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to a point now, man, where it's like I feel like if you didn't get into collecting in 2015, 16, 17, whatever, it's to a point now where you better be making some cash, you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's insane.
And that's why I think a lot of the especially the YouTubers, they flip.
Yeah.
You know, they're buying lots of games, selling off what they can to be able to put something in their collection. You know.
Yeah.
It's why a lot of people grow their collection. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So.
It's just not work we want. It's not going to the end is not going to justify the means for us.
No.
It's not the amount of work we
I don't
want
know if it's because where we live, because the deals,
Yeah.
and they're not that abundant around here. That we're not just
But I know
finding yard sales every week where we're scoring.
I know I hear channels like Retro Ghetto. He's in the UK and he talks about he'll buy a game if he thinks he can make $5 at his local. I'm not sure where they get their credit. CEX.
CEX.
If he can get $5 more at CEX, then he'll let those vouchers accumulate and then he'll trade it in for a game he really wants.
That's not hard at that point.
But he enjoys the hunt. He really enjoys the hunt.
Love
He's
the
out there
hunts.
every day.
I
love
don't.
the hunt.
But are we
I
going to go
don't.
out every day?
You don't like the hunt?
I do
I
not
love
like
going
the
out,
hunt.
like me and her going out and hunting there.
But
like,
it's not an everyday thing.
Oh God, no.
We're talking it's a weekend thing. Retro Ghetto's out every day.
Every day?
Column's out
No,
every day
Gaming
he
Off the
loves
Grid
it.
there, they
on the way to work.
they go off like on their way to work there, they it's there every day.
Yeah.
If
And I don't want to do that.
If you're in an eBay store, you need to do it every day.
But if you're loving it, if it the ends justifies the means, all power to you.
Oh, if you still enjoy it, go for it. Do it. Whatever.
Then it
Fill your
doesn't.
Boots,
it shouldn't add to the total of what you're spending at the end of the week because you're going to do it anyways.
For sure. Yeah. I agree. There's something like I used to really enjoy going out to the flea markets and thrift stores. And it just seemed like, I don't know if it was, like you said, the influx of YouTubers where prices became just more widely known and available and talked about and discussed. And so it just seemed like one day it was like out of nowhere. I was going to a flea market getting all these good deals and then it just dried up. Like it was just one random weekend. It just dried up and I kept going back. And it was like, it just was done. Though those old school prices were done. And
it's just more frustration than fun.
To me, that's how I felt.
Frustrated. Yeah.
It's
why we stopped going to yard sales for the most part.
Oh, yard sales.
We had like 2 or 3 this year.
Pathetic. They're pathetic around here.
Yeah.
People are actually there. I think they're going on eBay and then asking eBay prices there. And I'm like, this is crazy.
I can't even guarantee your game works.
Like,
I can go to the pawn shop.
I'm looking at an Xbox 360 game. You're asking $10 for it. And I can go to our local pawn shop and I know I can get it for $5, $6. And I'll have a 1-month guarantee on it.
The worst we ever did at a yard sale, we had picked up a game and we were like the only game we could find that was even worth picking up. And
it was an RPG.
Everybody should check their games.
It was it was one of these rare Xbox 360 games
with the 4 discs.
RPG. It had 3 or 4 discs. I think it's 4 discs.
Yeah.
And I opened it up and I thought it was all there. And I was missing 1 disc?
No, you were missing 2.
I was missing 2. I think I had 2 out of the 4 discs. And we had literally walked out and we were just out of the driveway. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I went back and we almost had to fight for my money back.
If there wouldn't have been other people there at the yard sale,
they wouldn't have gave our money back.
She wouldn't have given our money back. And I was like, listen, she's like, we'll pick it. She said, pick another game.
There's nothing there I want.
There's nothing, like, we have these games or they're in such rough shape. Like, we're not going to So yeah, we had to, and she wouldn't even talk to us. She just kind of shoved money in Scott's hand.
Slapped the freaking $10 in my hand.
I was like, yeah, you're not being very Canadian right now.
Yeah, it's to me, it's to a point where, like, you know, I am a lot like you, Jen, where I prefer just modern gaming. It's just, you know, and I'm 27, so to me, I really only grew up from PS1 onward, and so like. I don't really dive too much into the retro world of things regardless, but to me, it's like getting to a point where, because I remember, you know, finding anything for $5-10 on PS2, Xbox 360, whatever. And now it's to a point where it's like even games that were mass manufactured and printed, and like Knights of the Old Republic is up there in value of like
I know. It's
30.
crazy.
And to me, it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go and I'll spend my $60 on a full price game. And it's like, it's really honestly to a point where it's not that much different than going out and using my whatever gaming budget for the classic titles, because they're still so goddamn expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's become a weird thing, and more power to people out there making their money and doing the hustle, because it's a grind. Like, that's a job.
It's a second job.
I don't know if the bubble's gonna burst. There was a point there where there was a lot of YouTube videos are all the bubble's going to burst, gaming, the values are going to drop. I was a comic book collector and a toy collector before I was a game collector. And the comic book scene blew up when Iron Man movie came out. It started going crazy at that point there. And then it's never come back down. It has never come down.
Well,
it's only gone up.
Paper media as long as it's not overproduced, because we can agree that hockey cards and baseball cards for the most part have just went unless it's a significant card. But if it's a comic book and it's not been mass produced, which most of them have not, at least those first appearances that you want,
because they hold their value. If it's a popular issue that goes out and it sells out, they'll do a second print or a third
or
print,
like a variant,
fourth print. I've seen, you know.
It's I don't I kind of agree, because even like with the crazy market and the quote unquote recession or whatever that we're in, it's like there's still so much money with this select group of people that are able to buy whatever the fuck they want. Like, you know, back in the old days, when you're talking about a recession, you're talking about everybody's struggling other than a very few amount of people, you know, because it's just the climate is so much different in general, with just the different types of jobs that are available through online, yada, yada, yada. And like, as long as there's enough people to pay that high dollar for those items are never coming back down. You know what I mean?
That's just it.
No, as long as there's a demand, it'll never come back down.
Yeah.
It may peak, it may come down a little bit, but
it's not coming back down to where it was.
No, I think the things that will come down are those generic games that, you know, the $5 games that blew up to like $30. Those are gonna come down.
Well, I think there's been a few games that have been mentioned by bigger channels that blew up because they were mentioned. But, you know, they come back down eventually too. It's kind of a phase.
Everybody kind of gets in a panic. It's like, I got to get that now before it doubles in price.
Dude,
that drives the price up.
For sure, you're 100% right. 50 cent Blood in the Sand. On the Xbox 360, they made it backwards compatible only through the disc. So the only way you can play it on your Series X is through having the actual physical copy of the game. It shot up to over $100 overnight. It's now back at $50.
It's crazy, right?
Okay. I don't think I even have that one.
I think I'm gonna grab it for if it drops to 4. Dude, 50 cents like an all-timer for me. I remember watching
have a couple for sure.
I have one. I think they made that. I don't know.
I feel like we have to.
Did they make an original Xbox version? Something like that. Too?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was
bulletproof.
Yeah. I think I have that one, but I don't have the 360 version.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget friggin' like 2002 or 2003 watching 106 in Park on BET. Fucking 50 cents in the club comes on, dude. It changed my life. It changed, and then, you know, PIMP and 21. Dude, that record, that Get Rich Die Trying record's like top 3 all-time favorite records. So like all those shitty ass games that he put out, I was just buying the hell out of those things. But they're fucking well, I've heard that Blood in the Sand, it actually holds up a little bit better. So maybe, going back to it, I'll have more appreciation for it. But when I was playing at the time, I was like, this shit isn't good. But but I love 50 Cent so much that it was just
this is going to age me so badly. But I had a playlist for my 23rd birthday because that was my champagne birthday.
Okay.
I turned 23 on August 23rd. So we went out and 50 Cent was on my list. And that was like that top song. I was like, this is my birthday song.
Dude,
so much fun.
People don't understand, like, if you weren't around to experience what the hell 50 Cent did with that, was like a revolution that I've never seen. Like, people,
I know.
You have your Drakes and you have your big artists and shit now, but it's like when 50 Cent hit the scene, that was crazy.
Oh, it was crazy.
Just like little nerdy white kids that I went to school with and shit are bumping 50. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, dude. It was.
I loved it.
Hey, actually, speaking on that, I wanted to ask you guys, like, what is your favorite kind of piece of non-gaming related media that you've consumed?
We really had to.
We had to think hard.
We had to think hard about this because I feel like a little bit, and we talk about this a lot, that theaters are dying a bit, at least where we are. COVID hit them
I
hard.
think in the next 3 to 5 years, if Hollywood doesn't really start pumping out some good movies, their theaters are in trouble. And it might be gone.
It's so easy to watch it at home now.
I have a theater in my freaking game room. Right? I have a 65-inch TV, surround sound there. I can get up and use the washroom, pause my movie.
Popcorn's not $20.
The movie, a lot of those movies, especially during COVID, you could stream them same day they come out in theater.
And just you pay that one fee, but then you're using the stuff you have at home.
$20 popcorn there at theaters, that's not helping them.
Yeah.
So has there been anything that kind of stood out to y'all, like a show, even if it doesn't have to be something that released this year?
Oh yeah, we got some stuff.
We have some stuff. Yep. I think the biggest thing for us, do we want to do that first or last?
I don't know. What's the biggest thing? Talk about the Netflix show?
Yeah. Okay. We had a Netflix show we could not stop watching.
Yeah.
All of Us Are Dead. And I don't know if you've watched it.
I've never even heard of it, man.
Oh,
it's dubbed. It's I don't know.
Korean, I think.
Something.
Yeah.
Japanese, Chinese, Korean, whatever. Not trying to be racist. You know what I mean? But it's happening. It's in one of their private. It's in a private school, and then basically fucking Resident Evil hits.
Oh no,
good, dude!
It's so good.
Watch it.
It's so well done. It's so well done.
We could not stop watching it, and these zombies aren't slow. They're fast.
No, this is Dawn of the fucking Dead. They're coming at you there.
So good.
Yeah. That is so
good. Are you shocked? It's a zombie movie,
dude. I gotta check that out. The last zombie related bullshit I watched was that stupid ass Resident Evil fucking Netflix.
We never watched it.
No, this is why. First episode, he's like, it's not that bad. Finishing it, he's like, God, that fucking sucked. I was like, Scott, we're not watching that.
I still had it on my watch list. Like, we might try it eventually. We'll get bored.
I'm like, no, we're not.
That's so funny. Scott not being sure of the language. It's like, fuck, I'm not racist, guys. I promise. It's that shit is.
I'm not trying to be racist, but
I totally get you, dude. Be it not being aware of something. Fucking, you're worried that you'll be condemned as being racist for not having full fucking knowledge.
Dated, the age we live in.
Crazy, man. It's crazy. Not having awareness, and you're like, the fuck, I'm sorry. That's fucking funny, dude.
I'm white middle-aged male. I'm the worst person on the fucking planet.
Dude, I get you. It's tough, man. It's fucking tough, especially talking about comedy and stuff. Like, have y'all seen a good comedy movie in any time recently?
Comedy movie?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a comedy movie, but the last comedy media we consumed that we really enjoyed. And don't ask me to tell you anything that happened because we watch or play so many games and watch stuff. Live at the Red Rocks, Bill Burr.
Oh yeah, I watched that shit too.
fucking
Bill
awesome.
Bill Burr is awesome because he don't give a
He doesn't.
Doesn't
That's
give a
what I
fuck.
love. I'm like,
No.
if you don't give a fuck, you're my person. You're my people.
He that came out like right at COVID time.
Well,
People
it
are
came out
still
this year,
sensitive,
yeah.
and he was able to stride that line of jokes that wouldn't piss off either side.
Yes.
Both sides could kind of laugh at it the whole way. He did a fantastic job there.
You're spot on because he hates both of them sides, and like that's
Yes.
where
Yeah.
I am. I hate
me
both
too.
of you motherfuckers. I can't
What?
stand if you're like if
An
you're
extremist
yes
on
if
either side.
either side can't stand you. If your identity is attached to getting mad at other people for the shit they're doing, I don't want to fucking talk to you. You have no self-expression. You have no identity. You're just like I can't do it. I can't be around people who are just
stuck in a tribe.
There's no reasoning with those people, and why even bother to try? Like,
exactly, dude.
I don't understand your extremist views. Why be that person? And for the same reason, when I really like Jim Gaffigan.
Yes.
But when his new special came out, I was like, oh,
how many comedy specials? I don't know if you watched lots, but when the comedy special starts and the jokes are all for like COVID, it's like, I am not ready to fucking laugh about this shit. And it's either one side or the other, and it's usually for the other. They make fun of like people, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready for this. This thing has been making me miserable for 2 years.
Yeah,
turn you off.
Well, it's shitty too, like because being from the South, being from a mostly red, conservative part of the country, like everything, there's just so much like picking on these people, and it's like, and for here where I'm at, you would think I'm the most liberal motherfucker in the world, but you put me in California and people are like, get this damn, red state. Like, but it seems so split where like, man, the people I know that they are red state, true blue conservative people, but they're the sweetest, salt of the earth, kindest people in the world. It's just like
Americans are way more hardcore in your politics than we are up in Canada.
Yeah,
we all pretty much agree that Trudeau's a fucking idiot.
We all agree.
And we all agree that we made a mistake putting him in there.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say is that I felt like it used to be that everyone just agreed that all them motherfuckers sucked. Like they all fucking suck.
Do you know what happened? The politicians, their little campaign groups figured out a way to use social media to fucking put people against each other.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all that is.
Easiest way to conquer is to divide.
Call it a conspiracy theory, but that's what happened. I've never seen people, they drew a line in the fucking sand and people just chose a side.
Yeah. Because if somebody's going, hey, listen, we're going to do this over here, and we don't really want you to look behind the curtain. So if you could just like not pay attention to how we're controlling your money and everything you're doing by getting you to fight about this menial topic, then that we can do that. Please fight right here so we can do this.
Here's something off the topic.
Here's
something off the topic. Right in the fucking middle of a fucking COVID pandemic there, NASA fucking releases the fact that, UFOs, they're real. We don't know what they are.
And nobody
we're going to investigate. Yeah. And nobody knew. Nobody. I mentioned to somebody in the fucking lunchroom. They looked at me like I was fucking crazy. I'm like, get on your phone, look it up.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's true. They said, yep, there's UFOs. Like, we don't know what they are.
Not like
they're not saying they're aliens, but we don't know what they are.
Not like USA Today or like some like actual credible media outlets and sources were like, yes, they released this. They're saying that UFOs exist and that they've known for some time, but nobody knew about it because they were like, we were so focused on what was over here. They're like,
bullshit.
Let's throw this out.
Nobody knew.
Exactly.
I think the only reason I knew is because I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast and he talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm not one for news. I don't watch the news.
That's a
lot
really
of bad news.
Yeah, that's become a really bizarre thing too, where like you dive into a podcast of Joe Rogan or whatever, and it seems like you're getting more, not saying necessarily credible news, because Joe Rogan, he's self-admitted, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a comedian. But
I appreciate that in a person, just being upfront with you're like, I'm going to try my best, but I'm a fucking idiot.
Gives me the opportunity to go and look and see what the fuck.
That is it, Scott. It's the fact that he brings something to your attention and then you're like, okay, I'm a little bit more curious about this topic. You go dive into it a little bit. Like, I could do without hearing Joe Rogan's thoughts on everything fucking, like super anti this, anti like,
Yes.
okay, dude. I like back in the, because I started listening to Joe Rogan a long fucking time ago. Like back in the day where they were doing like webcam shit with Joey Diaz and Red Band.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I had two buddies and we dove into that. We loved that world and Ari Shafir and all those crazy bastards. And like, it used to be just so like jovial and fun. And now I feel like he almost feels it seems from the outside that he feels like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders where like
I know
he's being ridiculed.
Oh, he's got so much of this.
It's not as bad now. I would say 6 months, a year ago, I had to stop.
I had
to stop. And even when he was having people on from the very extremist other end of the spectrum, because he's very anti and he had very pro people on. Yeah. And like we all said, we're kind of in the middle.
There. Yeah.
I had to stop listening at that point because that was all of his podcasts. And I'm like, I just want you to bring comedians on and talk about
that's what
nonsense.
People wanted to fucking listen to.
That's true.
That's so true.
That's what the algorithm or whatever.
Dictated was popular.
It's like that's what his views. These views are going crazy on this topic. Keep going.
And to a certain degree, he does what he wants to. He does what he wants to do. He has control and power over that. So that's what he was interested in. That's what he did, which is not necessarily what interested me. And I was like, I don't want to stew in the negative about this. It affects me. At
that point, I completely shut down my Facebook there.
Yeah,
people were fighting. I went completely. I got deleted the app up. I didn't get rid of my Facebook, what do you call it, profile or whatever there. But
he went black.
I just went black. I don't want to. When I started seeing family members fighting about stuff like vaccinations and this and that shit, there, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. I gotta like you. I gotta like you guys after this is all done.
Exactly.
I don't want to fucking see this. This is all stupid.
Yeah. I totally agree, man. It's I love they have the Protect Our Parks thing with Joe Rogan, Shane Gillis, Ari Shafir, Mark Norman. Yeah, dude, I love when they do that. That's like my favorite thing that they have going on now because it feels like back to the roots of the old JRE fucking just sitting there shooting the shit, getting blackout drunk. Did
you listen to any of the Sober October stuff?
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of it
because I'm on the road.
I listened to it at work and it felt like happy times, like Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Ari Shafir, Joe Rogan talking Sober October and the fever dreams of quitting weed. And I was just like, you guys are hilarious. This is the shit I want. Just give me this. I skip all over the political stuff and I'm like, oh, this guy's a comedian. Let's click on Tim Dillon. I'll listen to him talk to Tim Dillon all day long.
Tim Dillon, dude. He's one, like in terms of, I feel like in terms of somewhere in the realm of sanity, Brian Simpson's really good as well. Yeah. Like somewhere in the realm of sanity of just like diving in and just tearing apart generally like kind of esteemed organizations and shit like that. I love how Tim Dillon just rips apart society. It's fucking.
Well, they said he was the greatest ranter they've ever known, and greatest ranting comedian ever. And I was like, yeah, I totally see that about Tim Dillon.
Totally see that. Yeah. So what was you said you had a couple other we're all over the damn place here.
That'd be my fault. I'm drinking and I've got caffeine for days of me.
Oh, dude, you're good. I'm you know I'm a rambling motherfucker, so I don't mind it at all.
Another piece of media for me. Yeah. I was talking to Jen about comics. The Last Ronin. Probably don't know what that is, but it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do believe it was a six. I think it was 6 issues came out. And I'll give you the gist of it for what the start of it is. What happened is the 4 turtles, they all went into this big battle. This is right at the very first. There, they kind of it's Michelangelo actually remembering what happened. And what happened is Splinter, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael all die. Michelangelo is the only surviving turtle. he goes to, I do believe, Japan or something like that, goes to the mountains. He's basically trying to like die, whatever, but he doesn't die. He ends up surviving. He's in the mountains there and he's gone for a while. And what he ends up figuring out is like the older that he becomes, the mutation is stronger. He becomes stronger. He's a stronger turtle because of the mutagen or whatever. And years later, he comes back to the city to get revenge. He's like, I'm going to kill, but it's not Shredder. I think it's Shredder's grandson.
Wow.
Yeah. And April is still there. April has a granddaughter. Casey's no longer there. Like it's cool. There's the first few issues were really cool because they go into the how each turtle got killed.
Yeah.
It was dark and it was like, holy fuck, this is good. And towards the end of the series there, it was like, it wasn't great. It started really strong, but overall it was a really good series.
That sounds like a lot darker than like, because I haven't really
Yes.
yeah, that sounds a lot darker
Yeah.
than the turtle stuff that I used to
Somebody
watch.
actually did like a fan made YouTube, like if they were to make a movie trailer of the last Ronin. And I was all excited because I don't think it said fan made at first there until it popped it up towards I was like, holy fuck, are they gonna make this movie? This is gonna be insane.
Yeah, that would be dope as hell, man.
yeah. Oh no, it was overall, like I recommended it to a bunch of people there. I was like, no, this is before I finished it. Even after the end of it, I was still quite happy with the series.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Scott. Like you are a big Marvel guy and comic book guy in general. I'm gonna say this, and you just hit me upside the head if I'm wrong here. As soon as they did that last Avengers Endgame, I believe it was after, as soon as that happened, I don't know what happened with me. I just totally, and I'm not a hardcore.
Here's what it is. The MCU died with Iron Man.
Okay. When Iron Man died, right?
Iron Man
okay.
died. Iron Man started it all.
Wow.
When Iron Man died, the movies following have just not been as good.
Oh, Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Have you seen it?
I haven't, dude. I'm so behind on everything. Like literally after
I think Disney buying the Marvel studios or whatever I think it was the worst fucking thing that ever could have happened to them.
Yeah.
I said on somebody else's podcast here, I said, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but Disney has just got to take control of the wheel and let Marvel do its thing.
Oh yeah.
They know what they're doing. Don't get too Disney with this shit because it's ruining it.
Yeah, it feels really soft. It feels like I did watch, and I was really impressed by the the last Doctor Strange movie. I kind of got into
I liked it.
Yeah, that horror kind of vibe there. Like I was kind of into that. And then the Shang-Chi movie, I thought that was decent.
That was not bad. I didn't mind that.
And I also watched the Eternals movie, and I was actually really into that Eternals movie because it was.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I think it was a rated R. I could be wrong on that, but it was just way, way, way different and very, very like subdued and kind of more psychological and shit. And I was really into.
Was that a Sony one or was that an actual?
I don't know. I'm not really. I really don't know a ton about the production behind that stuff.
I know Sony has their hand in stuff like Carnage, and
I haven't watched any of those.
I think Sony still owns Spider-Man.
Okay, that would make
sense.
Rent
them out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you like the Venom movies?
I only seen the first one.
I did.
Was it good?
The first one was good.
Yeah.
Not great.
Okay.
I haven't seen the second one there.
Well, he keeps floating it as an idea every time we turn on the TV, which is
she vetoes.
Which is not often, but I'm worried I'm not going to love it. I really, really am. I don't know.
From some clips I've seen, they've tried to make it a comedy.
Yeah. Okay. I don't mind comedic moments.
Yeah.
But there's certain Thor, like when you watch it, there's way
Now-
too much comedy, and it kind of dumbs down Thor as a character.
I
didn't enjoy.
oh my god! You know, did you see? What was it? Is it Birds of Prey? Whatever.
Oh,
The second movie there with Harley Quinn in it. or
No,
whatever.
I haven't.
Terrible.
was
Don't skip.
Terrible.
Skip.
They tried to do the Deadpool kind of blueprint. And it did not work.
Yeah.
at all.
Margot
No.
Robbie is a great Harley Quinn, but they fucked up with Birds of Prey. They did not deliver. It
Oh
was
no!
bad.
And then what was the second movie called? I know it's the second one in the series. John Cena was in it.
Oh, Peacemaker?
Oh.
No, Suicide Squad.
No.
Yeah,
Suicide
yeah,
Squad.
Yeah.
That second one,
It was rough too.
it was not great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great.
It felt like a lot. It felt like there was a lot of things going on all at once. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy it.
I don't know why DC is absolutely amazing at making animated
Yeah.
movies. Their animated movies are phenomenal. They're fantastic. But when it comes to actually making a movie with real actors, they can't fucking do a damn thing. I don't know if they can't figure out casting or what's there.
Oh man.
Did you watch the Batman movie?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
The latest one with what's his
I
fuck?
have strong opinions that a lot of people don't agree with.
Oh, hit me, dude, hit me. We'll wrap up here soon. I know I'm taking up a ton of your time, but go ahead.
I don't know.
Hit
I'm
me.
having fun here.
All right, hell yeah. Hit me.
See, I used to work with a guy there at my old job. He's a big movie guy. He actually does like he films movies. He has that kind of
He's very artistic. Yeah.
He actually makes short films and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Loved it. Loved the new Batman.
Favorite movie.
Loved it.
Just like-
Favorite movie, favorite superhero movie of all time. And I looked at him and he goes, "You're fucking crazy." He's like, "Why?" I was like, "I liked Batman in the movie.
Robert.
I fucking hated Bruce Wayne.
Oh
Who
my
the
God.
fuck? Have you ever seen damn, what's the name of the movie there? Where they go
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers. Have you ever seen Wedding Crashers?
I don't think so.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Anyway, there's
He's a struggling artist.
struggling artists are
He's
very
like
emo.
very emo,
Yeah.
and every time we watch Wedding Crashers,
Oh, I'm like, there's Bruce Wayne. Oh my god.
and like
Every time I seen him as Bruce Wayne, I just like, how the fuck is that Batman? How, I'm like, just terrible.
he didn't make a bad Batman. The cowl was ridiculous.
I didn't like the shape of the cowl,
Yeah.
but that's a very minor thing.
Yeah.
The action and everything else, and the movie itself, the story was actually all really good.
Yeah.
But
I
him as Bruce Wayne.
fucking hated his direction with Bruce Wayne. Some
Yeah.
depressed, meek little fucking bitch. They're supposed to be the best badass fucking superhero detective in the world. Fuck off.
I do. I kind of feel the same way. When I watched it, I was just like, I don't know. I like that sort of playboy entrepreneur. Like,
He's supposed to be like fucking Tony Stark, just like, this guy's amazing. Now this guy is like, he needs to lock himself in a basement and
He needs
draw or paint or some
He
shit.
needs
there.
an
I don't know.
antidepressant.
Oh my god. It's like,
I kind of do feel that same way. The cinematography and some of the fucking shots in that, but like, it was just,
Oh yeah.
oh my god, that when he first walked into Cobblepot's club, I was just like, holy shit, this looks so good. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the first time you see the Batmobile, that whole
Oh,
scene is
yeah.
so epic, man.
crazy.
Yeah. If he could have played a better Bruce Wayne, that could have been an epic movie. It could have been epic.
Ben Affleck played a better Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's
And I-
saying a lot there, because
When they
Ben Affleck is not my favorite Batman by any means.
No, no.
I
not
like,
by-
yeah, I like that kind of bigger. And I know Batman doesn't necessarily have to be this intimidating.
I really respected the fact that Ben Affleck went and bulked
Put in the
up
work.
and put
Yeah.
the work in, and
Yeah.
he looked like, I don't think I want to fuck with him, especially with all this Batman shit on there,
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, did y'all hear that James Gunn, he's I guess he's taken over the DC universe, the director for Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, recently he said though that they're going to try to do more movie tie-in games, like with DC to video games. And like, my immediate thought with that is like I'm thinking of
Really?
those 6th gen shitty ass, those real like Batman Begins, which isn't horrible, but like we went from Batman Begins to those Arkham games that didn't have any ties or connection to any of the films, and they were
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. And it's just like
Yeah.
when I heard that, I was like, oh God, please don't fuck this
There's
up.
not a great history of video games and movies having a
Adaptations,
great.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
At
know where
all.
this is gonna go.
Yeah, that does worry me. Did y'all have any other shout outs for new stuff that you saw in
Nobody.
2022?
Nobody was
we
good.
Really, it was kind of a surprise. Nobody, the movie there,
It was good.
I don't know if you know what it is, but it's very John Wick-ish.
But like with just your average everyday guy, and I like that he took some shots and he didn't come out like
I
didn't even get hit.
There,
like the don't call Saul or that guy.
Yeah.
He was it wasn't related to that, but that was the guy in it, and it was surprising. We didn't expect much.
that's probably why I wasn't like it looks like it's gonna be
Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick was good. It's the only movie I watched in theater
this year.
Last couple years.
That's true. That's true.
Really good in theater. I don't know how it would look.
I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan as a person.
Yeah.
But Top Gun Maverick, like I was like, damn.
She liked that so much so that she had, let's watch the first Top Gun.
And then I was like, let's take a nap on the couch. I was like, it's on.
Got halfway through and gave up. Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to watch it.
Wait till you see the volleyball scene. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I know people love that shit, man. People loved that Top Gun Maverick.
Well, I loved it back in the 80s. It did not age well. Oh,
right.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Dude, speaking of like comedy stuff, that Gillian Keeves, that Shane Gillis and I forget the other dude's name, but they do that sketch comedy, almost like SNL type thing. It's on their website, and I watched the first season. It was fucking amazing. Like he had the Trump speed dating where he's on.
What is
like,
it?
Trump speed dating.
Maybe we have not seen
I've never
it.
seen it. No.
I'll have
that
to
would be
send you.
right up our alley.
It's so fucking fun, and it's like gloves off, real old school comedy, like real comedy.
Comedy.
Real comedy. He has
I'm not worried about getting canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like that. It's not ridiculous like fucking far out there right wing bullshit. It's like real comedy. There's one where he imitates Guy Fieri, the food dude.
Yeah.
But he has like PTSD from the war, so he's going into these different restaurants, but he's having flashbacks and he's like fighting the fucking people at the restaurant. Dude, it's so goddamn funny. There's one way. It's just really, really good. The first season, I still think, and it's all for the first season's totally free on YouTube. The second season's solid as well. Andrew Schultz, do y'all know him, the comedian?
I'm bad with names.
Yeah, we may have seen it. We may have seen him.
Yeah, he's a New York comedian. His full special, Infamous, is free on YouTube now. I thought that was pretty damn solid. There some of that underground bubbling stuff in the comedy world is starting to catch on a little bit, and I'm glad to see that a little bit of the return of like, because I loved old classic comedy movies, and I just kind of like seeing that there's things that can be created on the underground scene. Like even with Louis C.K. he just put out a movie. I haven't watched it yet, but he put out a movie. I forget the name of it, but it has Joe List, a small, not smaller, but up and coming comic in there. And it's supposed to be like kind of fucked up ish humor that's more reminiscent of like the early 2000s era. So it's
nice.
It's cool to see. I also
did you hear that Bert Kreischer is putting like he's going to have a movie based on The Machine?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Like, this is all I want for my life.
There's actually a trailer.
There is a trailer.
Yeah.
And it is good. The trailer looks so good, man.
I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited.
That dude, you're spot on. That's actually even more to the point of like that old school of comedy kind of returning. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Well, that's what I remember. I don't know what I was listening to, but he was talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck at this point." There, he's like,
it's
how we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it the way we want to make it. We're not gonna worry about what people think here, and it's gonna be funny.
Like, check your feelings out at the door when you're watching comedy. It's not it. You're there to laugh.
Yeah.
You're not there for any political agenda or like being right or wrong about anything. You're just there to laugh. Just take it as comedy. Take it as
I mean, people
a
should
joke.
be just assume that when you're going into a comedy show, at some point you might get offended. That's all right. Just don't laugh
Exactly.
because you'll laugh at the next joke. It'll
Yeah.
be fun.
100%, dude. Like Anthony Jeselnik's one of my favorite comedians in the world.
He's so good. He's
Ridiculously
so good. That was the last one we suggested to our son. We're like, go watch
As in,
him.
this guy's all one-liners there, and they're he was spot on, and he sat there and watched like 3/4 of the special with us there, the first one there, and then he went right upstairs and finished it and watched the other one. Like,
wow.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah, dude.
Loved it.
Because that's I'm not.
His timing's awesome there. The way he sets the jokes up. Yeah.
He should never not have a beard. That's one man that I need your comedy to have a beard because you look so much
more of an asshole kind of tough there. What your jokes, you look like what your jokes are saying there. Like,
yeah, you need a beard.
Yeah.
Totally, dude. That joke where he says the joke about dropping the baby, where he says they asked would he hold the baby? He goes, for a minute.
yeah.
I love
that. You don't expect what he's gonna say like 90% of the time, and that's what I enjoy about it. Like, that's where my brain went, but I'm happy your brain went there because that's what I love. That's the shit I love.
Yeah, that shit it's fucking. I really appreciate that style of weird ass humor. So last thing I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna get out of your hair. What is back to gaming? What is your favorite game off the backlog? A game that didn't release in 2022. Your favorite game that you've played this year that wasn't a 2022 release.
I thought it was going to be harder for Scott than it was for me, and then I made a list of 6 games, and Scott made a list of 1 game.
Well, 1 game, but I wasn't planning on telling you about
Grandia.
Okay.
Where do you? Okay, now that we're saying that, where do you stand on Grandia and Chrono
She keeps
Trigger?
fucking making me pick. Which one's better? Which one do you like more? Which is your favorite? Don't make me pick.
You only have one life, so it's easy to pick on that. But what about these 2 games?
I don't know. I don't want to pick. They're both right up there. I don't want to pick because I enjoyed them both, but they're different.
Yeah.
One was like a 20-hour game. The other one was like 76-hour game. They're like roughly.
True.
You know what I mean? You know what we did this year? We wrote down all the games as we were finishing them, and then we wrote down how long we played on each game, so that at the end of the year, we always do this video where we talk about the games we beat this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about, all the games we beat this year, and then we're going to talk about, this is how much time we spent on total. And I think it's going to be shocking.
Yeah.
Like, how many fucking hours did you spend this year? And I'm like, well, yeah,
it's a lot.
It adds up fast. Time. It does.
But his were Chrono Trigger and Grandia. I wanted to cop out and say Resident Evil 4 in VR on the Oculus, because I swear to God, if you haven't played it that way, that's the way that game should be played. It was amazing. I can't wait for the remake, and I know we shit a little bit on remakes, but I'm excited for that one. I hope they do it well. But I did play Resident Evil 4, so I really didn't think that I could mention that one. I played Final Fantasy 7 and the remake this year, which were really high on my list too. But the game I could not put down was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night on the Switch. I let Denis take the PS4 version home. The Switch is like apparently a lesser
graphically.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. I wanted to play that nonstop, and I loved it. And it's not even a survival horror; it's a Metroidvania.
I'm shocked too.
Yeah. It's so good, and I realize I love a Metroidvania. Survival horror.
Survival horror, and Metroidvania style games that's what
my bread and butter.
Yeah. If I had to throw another game on my list, it would have been Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
I want to play that, man.
Oh, fuck, it was good. It was so good. It was so good, like co-op. Couch co-op, dude.
Was that My Fucking Tomatoes one? Or was that 4?
I can't remember. It might have even been...
Marcus with My Fucking Tomatoes!
I can't remember. Yeah, it was like their one-liner there. We're in the... Was it Judgment? I can't remember. I played them all this year. I played them all.
Oh, that's right, with your son.
Couldn't stop.
Every fucking Gears game this year. So it's all kind of blending together. Which one was which? So yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah. So would you say like if because I want to jump into Gears 5, would you say I need to play 1 through 4 first, or could I just jump into 5 or
Just jump right into 5.
jump into 5?
4 is
Okay.
really good too, though.
Okay. Might play
Yeah.
4 and 5. You think that'd be like
Oh,
decent doing
be
it that way?
fine. I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
so.
I think the
so.
one that people liked the least was 2. Was it 2? I know some people
I'll
like,
tell you like
Yep.
what I noticed, because we played them all on the Xbox Series X, and I played them with the discs. I have them all in physical.
Mhm.
The first one, we had so many glitches. Game froze, completely dropped out on us a couple times, but we got through it. There was a lot of graphical issues with it. Second one was better, with less glitches and all that. Still rough. Third one and then Judgment, both were pretty good, like performance wise.
yeah.
Then you get into your 4 and 5, which are built for the Xbox One and Xbox Series X, and they both performed no problem at all. Really good. 2 was my least favorite, I think.
Yeah.
The whole series.
I think Alex was a little bit shifted. I think
The story is not like crazy that you have to play this series in order to know what's going on.
Yeah, that's kind of the
Yeah.
impression I got, that it's like kind of schlocky, sort of broy, kind of just
Yep.
fun
Mhm.
action, fast and
Yeah.
furious kind of. Yeah.
You mean you could probably kind of get more attached to certain characters if you start from the first and work
Yeah.
your way through, but like the story wise,
I know Alex really loved Marcus.
yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell
He's just
yeah.
got this like give no fucks attitude.
Yeah.
He's like
that
just
true fucking Marine kind of style.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. I like this year really I stopped keeping track of the games that I beat. You were the reason I ever started keeping track. I never used to do that of keeping track. But I love doing it. And then there just came a certain point. I don't know what happened. I just like totally had a brain lapse and I stopped keeping freaking track of it. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to refresh that for 2023. I wonder like what that do you already have the hour count totaled out like for
Not-
everything?
Ooh, the
Not
hour
yet?
Not
Yeah.
yet.
No.
Do you
I'm
know
so
why I started
curious.
it initially? Is for my own, like I wanted to know for myself, but
I honestly thought it was just going to add another little layer of depth. Like people, I don't have time to game.
Yes.
Like, well, I
That too.
don't spend every waking, spare second I have playing games. Like I plan it out there. I'm like, all right, Wednesday night, I think if my work goes well and everything, and I get back and, I'll do a workout and then maybe I'll play a game for a couple hours, be done at 9 o'clock and then, kind of wind down. I need to wind down before I go to bed. I get into playing a game there and I have a hard time going right to bed. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
when I started out on this channel, I was very green to everything gaming. Like I would have been the person that said the old Nintendo. Like now I'm like, oh my God. Like there's people that call it the old Nintendo and they're not gamers. But I felt like I really need to learn some stuff. I really needed to like get knowledge fast because I was getting into this because Alex was like, I don't have time. I just want to like pop in and out, but I don't want to be an every week thing. So I felt like I needed to have some validation in the community, and even more so initially because I was a woman. I don't feel like that at all. I feel bad for women that feel that they're not respected in the community. And I'm like, I don't get that at all. I feel like I'm just one of whatever amount of gamers in the community. So I was starting to keep track just because I was like, I wonder what kind of games I play. I wonder what kind of hours I put in. I wonder what kind of time I put into this. And I wanted to learn stuff. I don't want to be going into this and people like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't even play games.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I do though, but here, like this is
well,
what I do.
we're collectors too, right?
Mhm.
So it is interesting to go back and look after a year's worth of gaming. What genres, what consoles,
Mhm.
where did I put the most amount of time? What were my favorite games in this list? You I think you actually start to learn more about yourself as a gamer. Yeah.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
keep track.
Yeah.
That makes sense, man. And I think that that idea of like it's interesting that you say that being a woman trying to kind of be super hyper more familiarized or more knowledgeable. It I do think there is something to that, because I used to date a girl who she did some like she was an on-screen personality for a news network, and she, like there I could see like how she would so meticulously go over every detail and studying, and like when I started doing YouTube, I just like pop a camera on, like, this shit sucks. This is fucking cool. Like, I do think there is something to that, like built in sort of whatever it is, and where women feel like they have to like really show you and prove you, like, look, motherfucker, I'm legit. Like, I'm not, I'm not just a cam girl. I'm not just like I have knowledge. I'm getting into this shit.
Well, it's more of a man
there's
space,
a lot of
right?
Well, the game industry is more of a man kind of hobby, but the women that portray that they are gamers on there are more of a, let's call them an Instagram kind of girl.
Yeah,
they're just selling
body,
and guys are just watching them. They're not playing. They're gamers.
No, and that's fine if that's your stick, but please don't say you're a gamer. Just say I'm here for like this. Yes, gaming is a man's space, and I don't think that's a bad thing to say. Like, I don't think that's negative.
It's just the majority of.
Yes. Just like I would say the fashion industry is, or the makeup industry is a female dominated space.
I thought you were going to say gay men.
No, well, that too. But it's, you know what I mean?
They're better at it.
They are.
No doubt.
It's more dominated with that, you know what I mean, that group of people. So when I came into the gaming space, I was like, I don't want to just be this gamer. I want to touch a little bit of everything. So when I wasn't playing RPGs, I was like, it's time to play an RPG. It's time to try this. It's time to do that. I have to learn about this.
You were worried about getting kind of put in that category of, let's just call him the Instagram girl there, where I'm a gamer. And come watch me play a game with the tits out.
Also, I didn't like, and there's nothing wrong with it, but Animal Crossing is just not my thing. Sims is not my thing. And I think that's like what a lot of girl gamers get pegged into. Is that
there's like
I'm like, but that's
without
just not
being sexist or whatever. There you get like, okay, name chick games, and then you know what, you're gonna name off.
That's what you're gonna name, because
a bunch of those games, because that's why are they chick games? Because they're probably a little easier to jump into for new gamers, or
that too. Because I think my generation we weren't as exposed to games, or it wasn't as I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Accepted. Like, especially like sure. I'm 42.
By your peers.
Yeah, my peers didn't accept that you could be a gamer, right? That was, you were a nerd. But if you were going to play a game, you're going to play like a cutesy platformer, or more of like the Animal Crossing, the Sims. And those are fine games if you're interested into them. But I've never been. Even when I was younger, my movie interests were like sci-fi horror, or like some sort of like that dynamic of movie. And so that's what I look for in games. I think I have such a lighthearted, happy, regular life that I look for that opposite polar effect in a game or in my media. I'm like, give me that dark shit.
I need to sleep with one eye open.
Right?
Well, no, I'm in the same boat as you, where like I love that super dark. Even as young as, like, I remember my earliest memories are with like Rob Zombie records and Marilyn Manson records and 9 Inch Nails records, and like that's always been just like, I like the visuals of it. It's so catching to me. Like, what the fuck are you thinking when you're creating these weird music videos? Like, I've always been super into that, so I totally get you there. But I do think that, it's cool to see like women sort of becoming more involved with like the core gaming experience, and like really
getting more comfortable with the idea of them being allowed to be gamers and not being, I don't know if ridiculed is a little bit of a strong word, by their peers. When I mean peers is like their girlfriends, because you've even said yourself when you're at work talking to other women, you don't talk games.
I would never talk to another woman about games. There is one other one that I will talk to about games, and she's cool, but she's quite a bit younger than me. And but nobody my age is gaming. And I think that's sad because I think people really could benefit from that escapism you get from gaming. But if
think
it's
a
not
lot
your
of people
job,
suffering from anxiety and depression and all that, I think they should consider trying to get into the hobby of gaming. It really does help.
it
No
does.
doubt. It
Yeah.
absolutely does. Yeah. It's but it is freaking cool. And then like I just appreciate having more perspective. There's so many people out there where like anytime anything is different from the traditional, like, just say white man, brown hair, fucking chiseled buff dude. If like if there's a slightly different protagonist in a video game, if it's a black chick, if it's just a woman, a black dude, whatever, there people are like, oh, this is woke. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just a different like I'm interested
Exactly.
in hearing.
I was never one of those people that gave a shit who the main character was, as long as it's good. My favorite video game is Parasite Eve.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
And it's a check.
Yeah, Bria. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that game. Love that game. That really got me into gaming more of as an adult, because that was the first time I was really introduced to this dark kind of a story. And it was like, oh, fascinated with the game. Couldn't stop playing. I had to finish the story there. Before that, it was like platformers and sports games, like hockey games and stuff like that, beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
That was my first time. I was like, holy fuck, this is like playing a fucking amazing movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, it is sick though. And so, it's just cool to have more widespread appeal across the board. And I think that Sony games, like, one of your favorite games of all time being The Last of Us, I think they've been so great at kind of bridging that gap and allowing more people to get introduced to it. Because it's like, okay, well, I watch movies, I understand that. Oh, the cinematography is great, and like the cutscenes are great. So it's like it's easier to kind of walk across that bridge. And then when you get there, you're like, oh shit, okay, well, now I'm gonna play Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, yada yada yada. And it's like you're taking slight steps into a different direction and getting more, familiarized with it. So I do think that's sick.
I gotta take a pee break, but when I come back, I'm gonna ask you a question about Bayonetta.
About Bayonetta?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it for sure. Hell yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna let's go. I have a question for you, Jen.
Yeah, sure.
And I promise I'll get out of your hair after we.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Okay, so the like survival horror seems to be making a pretty big return. Your Dead Spaces, even with Callisto Protocol, maybe not reviewing so well. Resident Evil being red hot. It just Alone in the Dark coming back. Is there anything on the horizon for you with survival horror that either you wish was coming back or something that is coming out that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the Silent Hill 2. I just played it for the first time this year, and that was one of the 6 on my list that I almost wanted to put. I wonder if it would have hit me differently if I had played it back when it came out, but I didn't. And it's hard to get upset about that sort of thing. Like I get to experience it for the first time now, and people are jealous because they're like, fuck, I wish I could replay that and wipe my memory and have that as the first experience. But I'm excited to see that franchise come back and then breathe new life into it. And I hope they bring a lot more than just remakes too, which they say they are going to. But I'm excited for anything that comes out. I really look forward to like new indie games that come out. I don't know that there's anything right off the top that stands out. I kind of consume it as it comes out. If I see something comes out, I have to get it. Like I haven't played Madison yet. I played St. Dipna's Hotel. I really enjoyed that. As we talked about Tormented Souls, like if I see something that's indie, those are the things that really grab me the most, because I'm like, this might not be for every consumer, but I need to know what it's about. You talked about Chant, and I know I had mentioned Chant before too, and I haven't played it yet, but I'm really interested in that. That's something I have to dig my claws into, because I really think I think it's gonna be a game for me.
I think it will be too.
Yeah.
It has some really interesting mechanics. I love that idea of if you spam dodge, you fall. And it's like
Yeah.
it's just like this built-in sort of like panic thing where it's like, oh shit, I'm spamming dodge because I want to get away, but I fall and now I'm even more stressed out. It's like
Yes.
I really love that. So but it's cool. Like you're really diving into
Oh,
like the almost the bulk of everything, man. Because Madison's one that I have as well that I haven't dived. Saint Defina's Hotel,
yeah.
another one that I played a little
Song
bit
of
of.
Horror. I haven't gotten into Song of Horror yet. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah,
There's so much.
there's so.
And
Go ahead.
so pissed that we're big supermassive games, that sort of realm of did you hear about the PSVR 2 and the game that's coming out alongside that, like alongside that release?
Oh yeah, the new kind of Rush of Blood style.
Yes, I was like, fuck.
I really enjoyed Rush of Blood.
Yeah, but $819 Canadian.
That new
How do I
VR.
justify this?
Holy shit! You know we're in a recession, right? Like, wow.
I don't know how I justify that. I really want to play that game. That game is right up my alley. Can't justify.
So what happens if that comes out and nobody can fucking afford it?
VR might be VR might be done with PlayStation.
Yeah. Do we have another PS, Vita? Like it just dies and
it's sad.
It's just for the hardcore collectors there in a couple of years.
Yeah, I feel
and
like
to hear that's not going to be backwards compatible as much as we want it to be.
Really, does it have to be that expensive? Because I know typically they release consoles at a loss.
Yeah.
And they try to make their money back on games, right? Does it have to be that expensive? That's a lot.
So
that's really tough to swallow. That's not a console. That's a fucking headset you plug into your console.
Right?
So PSVR 2 is not backwards compatible?
No, not 100%. They're saying most of them aren't going to be backwards compatible. That's what I heard on one YouTube video. Don't quote me on it. I'm hoping it's wrong.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of frame rate issues with a lot of those originally, the PS4 VR stuff. There's a lot of those games that are just that are hard to play because you get nauseous. So
like how much do we friggin' well spend on Moss?
Holy shit, that's
$100
game.
And to feel like that's not going to be a backwards compatible game?
It might be.
And it's amazing? That's kind of a piss off.
So now I have to keep two headsets on hand here to play these freaking games. Oh, that's kind of irritating.
You're telling me this new fucking system, whatever you want to call it, headset, it's already coming with a limited amount of software other than like Horizon, that Call of the Mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there anything in VR 2 that's like getting you hyped for the launch period?
That's just that one super massive.
That seems to be a theme with launches now, though, right? When it comes to new consoles and stuff, they just come out weak. They come out weak with like their fucking titles. It's not. You remember back, like you might not remember back 20 years ago, but like games would come out with launches. Like you're like, holy fuck, you got like 20 killer fucking games, or like at least half of them are like, holy shit, I want to play that.
Yeah. It was a game for anybody.
PS2, like how many launch titles did they have when they came out? Like it's crazy.
It really is. That's been a weird fucking thing to follow along with, and just I don't know how that ended up happening. I mean, you look at the Xbox Series not launching with Halo, and the PlayStation 5 launching with pretty much nothing first party that was I mean, Demon Souls, but that's a remake of the PS3 game.
Exactly.
But it's crazy to think that there's already
a trained monkey. Jen grabs her glass, I grab my glass too.
It's crazy to think that there's already such limited games, and to not have those backwards compatible games. It's like, what do you expect people to play when they buy this 500?
There's going to be a bunch of them that are, but I don't know what video I watched. Might be Mystic. I think that's how you pronounce.
Oh yeah,
he's a big channel.
Yeah,
and he's all PlayStation, and that's where I get my PlayStation news.
Yeah,
don't quote me. I think I might have. That's where I usually get my PlayStation news.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of it's not going to be backwards compatible. Maybe they'll fix
Wow.
that. Maybe people will be like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Okay, well, let's fix something."
How do you justify spending $819 Canadian on a headset when the console wasn't that much at
The
launch?
Oculus is so much fucking better. It's not that much, is it?
No, the Oculus Quest 2 did have, I think, don't quote me on it, but I think it was $100 price increase, which is unprecedented.
It's wireless.
But it's unprecedented in like older releases. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't hear 2 years later, oh, guess what? Listen, we're gonna put the PlayStation 2 up $100.
Yeah.
They
Some
put
people
the-
lose their minds.
They put the PlayStation 5 up $50 in Canada, and the Oculus Quest 2 went up $100. They didn't come out today, and then they put the price up.
This is not a launch. This is like old systems out, and we're just increasing the prices there.
Yeah. So I was lucky. I picked up the Oculus at the parlor before the price increase for $200, but now you can't get one there under $300 used. It's like, okay, I got in at a good time.
Talking about timing there, really there. It's like, people will, I'm sure they come into our basement. I want to say my basement. They come into our basement and like, holy fuck, you got a lot of fucking games and a lot of money invested here, but that's my hobby. If we had waited on the Oculus, you wanted to buy it, and I'm like, you usually tally up the bills and you take care of the books. If you think we can handle it, go for it. I don't care. And she picked it up, and like 6 months later, like, fuck, good thing you got it.
Oh my god, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it. Like, I played the shit out of that.
I think that's where a lot of the panic comes from, like retro game collecting, is like, get it today before it like gets out of your price range.
That's sort of my thing. That's like kind of my theory.
Yeah, and then that whole mindset actually is continually driving up the price and to the point where it gets where it's unaffordable.
Yeah.
And then when does it come down? Like, it might come down a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like buy things day one, because it's like, it seems that shit's just not.
I will for like
there's certain things
like Octopath Traveler 2. I'm gonna try and get that day one. They're like RPGs, survival horror, like stuff like that you're like, okay, they may not make a lot of these games. Probably better to buy it day one, because it's going to increase and you're going to end up paying more in 6 months or a year or whatever.
Yeah.
Then
a
let's
AAA title.
Say like a AAA title, like we call it there. You ever played there? Horizon Zero, not Forbidden West. Like, she bought day one. That has only gone down in price, I'm sure. I haven't checked.
But it's crazy how long they're holding price nowadays, though. I don't know if PlayStation's adopted this Nintendo format of not putting out, like, because it's to the point now where Horizon was on sale. That released in February. It was on sale for like $40, and I'm like, okay,
that's not really all that much of a sale for an old game.
Yeah, Nintendo is very, very hard to collect for. Like Switch, our Switch, like, we have like, if it fits like in this, and I'm looking at the shelf right now, and I can put them in my hands about this much. I don't know how many games that is there, but that's about our full Switch. I look at some YouTubers that have like hundreds of like Switch games. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think where we're going to save money in the future is passing on. It's hard too, because you don't want to get spoilers, and those AAA titles are the ones that you're like, don't tell me about it. I don't want to hear it, because I've been trying to not consume any God of War Ragnarok, and I have a lot of catching up to get to that point.
I haven't seen shit.
Well, we've been trying not to watch it, but if I could pay. And for us, it's over $100 once you add the tax.
That's
what we're spending on
the old Canada there.
Or we can wait, and you got God of War, 2018 God of War,
$10
for $10 or $5 or something.
I played that game for $10. That's fucking amazing. And now, just a couple of years later, and you're like, what has happened to the gaming industry? Holy shit. Like, do you think Ragnarok in a year and a half is going to be $10?
No.
Fuck no.
No.
I don't see it. Yeah, that's
No.
that's kind of where I'm at with it too, where it's like I'm just gonna buy the shit that because I'm almost like totally out of collecting. Like I don't have a ton of space left. There's a bunch of filler shit that I could trade, but it's like
it's really difficult. I don't like the videos on YouTube that come up and it's like, I'm done collecting and blah blah blah, and you know, it's clickbait.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, but yeah, it sucks. It fucking does suck. It's just harder. It's way fucking harder now to collect, but I still enjoy it. I'll figure out a way to get it. I'm not gonna go into debt by getting a certain game. Like, okay, well, one game off the top of my head there. Let's call it, say, Breath of the Wild 3, PS1 game. That's like one of those few RPGs I don't have. I don't have that one yet. Okay,
Breath of the Wild, or you're talking?
Not Breath of the Wild. Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire. Sorry, drinking. Yeah, Breath of Fire 3 on the PS1. I don't have that one yet. That's one of those ones I want to get. Yeah. I have number 4. I have number 1. I don't have 2 and 3. I want to get them. I don't see them often, but when I do see them, I'm gonna have to grab something out of the collection to trade against them.
Yeah,
I have filler. I have 1,500 games. I think
we all do.
There is no way in hell I am playing to completion 1,500 games.
No,
never. It's a good, try the game, and within a few hours, you'll know if you're going to be hooked or not. And then there's games I've played all the way through, and I'm like, I'll never play that again.
Yeah.
I'll never play it again.
Yeah.
Totally.
Trade it. Don't sit there on it and wait. See, maybe in 20 years it'll be worth something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why?
That's kind of my thing where it's like, when something comes out that's really when I want to play it, I just want to play it in that moment. I don't know. I just have that Pavlovian fucking idiot response where I'm just, ooh, new shiny object. But like,
I'm the same.
Piece of candy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, okay, I'll pretty much each month I'm like, all right, and then I work like on commission and shit. So I never really know how much money I'm going to make, but I know about a roundabout. And I know that it's like, okay, $200 a month. That's kind of what I can usually justify spending on gaming each month. So it's like, I used to go out and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to grab some retro stuff and then grab a few modern things. Now I don't know what I've just kind of gotten into this habit where it's like, I'm just going to pick up the modern stuff. And even if it's okay, I'm only getting 3-4 games. Cool. I'll just play those 3-4 games.
Now I'm curious because I see that big shelf behind you. How many games do you have in your library?
I was thinking the same.
I don't know. I think
because we're in the same boat. We have a pretty extensive library that ranges somewhere close to that 1,500, give or take. We don't know. I don't know. You can look it up on your phone and probably tell me the exact number.
Yeah.
But when your collection does grow to that point, okay, like what else do you want in your collection? There's a lot of filler at that point. Do you know there's filler in there? There's got to be filler in there. You can't tell me there's 1,500 killer titles. There's no way.
Absolutely.
But there's games always coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There's always new stuff. If you're a gamer, you're going to want to play it. All right.
Not
you have to take a real critical look at your collection. Are you a hoarder or are you a collector? Are you a gamer? What are you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm probably this one here. God knows if I'll ever get to it. Take it out.
Yeah.
Take it out. Trade it. Do something there. Like, just be reasonable. Don't be like this collector that has 6,000 fucking games in their collection on the shelf. There's no way in hell you're going to play those games in your lifetime. Never as an adult. Never. Yeah. I don't care. You can argue till you're fucking blue in the face. There's no way that you're putting out 2-3 videos a week on YouTube. You're doing all the legwork, collecting the games for pickups, doing the videos. There's no way you're playing your games. You don't have time. There's no way. You're never getting through all those games. You never.
It's totally impossible. And that's kind of
totally impossible. It's just numbers at that point.
Absolutely. And that's the thing where it's like, I'm going to just buy what the fuck I want in the moment.
Yeah, you have to.
Yes.
Play
enjoy it for the hobby that it is. It's supposed to be meant to be enjoyed, not to be like a shelf piece. Like
Absolutely. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
found that, whenever I go off and I'm trying to collect older things, it's like, oh, I'll put it on the shelf and I'll get to it. Whereas with the new stuff, it's like, oh, I want to get it in the moment. I want to understand the story before I get it spoiled and all that. But with Canada, it's like that there's no fucking way for $100 for a new game.
Oh, it's insane.
You can buy 10 games at that price.
It's a tough pill to swallow. That like day one release stuff there's not many I'm running to grab.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Not right now. There's no way.
It has to be something I want to play right now. And if I'm not going to play it right now, I have to say, you can wait. Yeah.
I've said that, like, I didn't buy Ragnarok. I didn't get
really?
that day one.
Yeah.
And I had said, I know I've said it on YouTube video before that that's probably day one purchase. But look,
it's going to be available and it's going to go down in price.
2 years from now, like, I have so many games on the shelf. I have like thousands of hours of gaming backlogged.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I really want to play that now. I want to play it now. Okay?
That's the games you need to buy now.
Okay, I'm going to go get it now.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. If it's a month from now, if it's next year,
And that's
do you really want to get it day one? If you want to play it day one, you can get it day one.
And that's something I appreciate about your videos, Brandon, because you'll go over a list of games that you want to play day one, and games that you're like, these may not be for me. They may be for you, but they're not games that I'm seeking out, and I may play them maybe eventually. But I really appreciate that because you're putting your stock and your value in some games and not in everything, because we can't play everything, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's just kind of been my whole mantra for the last little bit, is where it's like, not that I'm giving up on the backlog or anything like that at all, because there's so much shit on the backlog but I think, Scott talking about it, like getting rid of some of that filler that you're not going to touch. Like, I kind of want to have a collection where it's like everything in that motherfucker I have some knowledge of, or at least I really want to get to it at some point. Like
exactly.
that feels like not unique, but like it feels like it's in tune with who you are as a person, kind of tells a little bit of a story. So that's something that I've been working towards, because it's like, okay, if I'm going to spend $200 a month, then what does it matter if I buy 30 games for that 200 if I just buy 5 that I'm actually going to dive into,
that you're actually going to play? Don't be consumed by what you own. Like, enjoy what you have.
Here's a theory.
Hit me.
The pandemic, everybody was sitting home. They were buying up everything. Drove the prices up. Crazy. Drove them up crazy. The price spike was like unprecedented.
For sure.
So, saying that, if tomorrow everybody went and took a real hard look at the collection and said, there's a lot of filler in here. I got 1,500 games. I could probably get rid of 100 games right off the top without even blinking. Do you think that would drive the price down because the market would be flooded with games that just can't get rid of?
Would it just be filler games, though? I guess that would be the...
That's what it would be. But then you know what I mean? That $5 game 5 years ago is now $30.
Oh,
Let's go back to a $5 game.
It's $5 game again.
That is true. Yeah. Especially like we were talking about earlier, the stuff like those big, I don't know why I keep saying Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know why that's in my brain, but
I think you want to play it. You want to play it right now, don't you?
Fucking, I want to play that damn PS4 or PS5 version of it, but whatever the hell's going on with that shit. But no, that is true, where a lot of those games that are like everyone has them, if those started getting sold, I do think you would see an adjustment in the market and shit would get back down to some form of normalcy. But I wanted to I'm going to get out of your hair, but I wanted to ask you, or I wanted to hear the question you had for me about Bayonetta.
Oh, fuck. I forgot all about that. Yes. All right. I kind of know, because I think that Janet had told me a little bit how your thoughts are on the whole series there right now. You've played 3, right?
Yeah.
I have not. I have played 1 and 2. I loved 1. Loved it. Loved it. Mm-hmm. Lightning in a bottle. Just something completely different. Number 2, it really took me out of the series. I was like, holy. They like changed her appearance. like really cut her sex appeal in half, and that is like most of her character right there. It's like taking Elvira and covering up the cleavage. You're like, what the fuck are you doing there? You know, like,
Yeah.
know your audience. Know your audience. Or really, I don't know, male chauvinistic pig or whatever. But you know, like the outfit from 1 to 2 is like huge difference.
But then her character was different, was it? I don't know.
No, the story, I couldn't tell you. I played through number 2 just a couple months ago. I couldn't fucking tell you what number 2 was about. Couldn't tell you.
Same,
couldn't
dude.
tell you. It was actually, and I'm going to do a video on this there, so here, no, like, but I did a community pick, and I put Lollipop Chainsaw, Bayonetta 2,
and Bullet Witch.
And Bullet Witch. That was your 3 picks. People unanimously picked Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh shit!
Right?
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, me too. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll pick that. I'll play that. They're all short games. They're not long games. I think Lollipop Chainsaw is in that 6 to 8 hour. Bayonetta, it probably can't be more than like 10 or 12 hours, right?
No, definitely not.
And Bullet Witch, probably in the same area.
Yeah.
So I played through them in that, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to fucking play them all. Whatever.
But you did play through them, I think, as the community pick.
As the community pick.
Yeah, so he played Lollipop Chainsaw.
And you know what? Lollipop Chainsaw, out of the 3, Lollipop Chainsaw was probably the most enjoyable.
Wow.
Does it deserve a remake? Hell no. Will I buy the remake? Unless I see something absolutely phenomenal in gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fuck no. No.
It's just not.
It's YouTube that has pushed this hidden gem out there, and some idiot behind a fucking desk there sees the numbers on this, and we can fucking make money on this. Let's remake it. I that's without me even seeing anything. It might be phenomenal. I don't know, but like, just after I played all 3 of those games, and when I was done, I was like, I will never play any of those games again.
But Bullet Witch was the one that you thought
Bullet Witch needs the remake more than the other 2.
Okay.
Because it had a really good idea. It was just poorly executed. Doesn't look like it had much of a budget. Replayability was the best out of the 3 because it was like, it's kind of like a new game plus. You carry over all your stuff you've unlocked into the next gameplay, because you can't unlock everything in the first gameplay.
Right.
And then next time, and then the next time, you know what I mean? There, and they'll tell you like all these spells you unlock that it makes it better. Graphically sucks.
I think Dennis is at our door.
Oh, you better go check.
One second, I'll be right back.
The door's probably
you
locked.
good?
Yes, I can hear him beeping.
So graphically, Bullet Witch, ugly, does not age well.
Right.
Playability, like, has the most upside for a remake. Lollipop Chainsaw, funnest, probably most enjoyable game, kind of just upbeat. You're a cheerleader. You're a blonde cheerleader, you know, chopping heads off with fucking chainsaw. Awesome. Bayonetta 2, biggest disappointment because it was the one I wanted to play the most.
Yeah.
Loved the first one. Second one, they chopped her hair off. They fucking put her in this not sexy outfit at all, like covered her up. I don't know if they were trying to be PC or what. They're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This story couldn't tell you.
I'm with you.
You played through it all the way there?
Yeah, I played through it.
What's the story about?
I have no fucking clue. I know the little
fucking clue.
The kid pops up, you follow him into this weird fucking realm, and then, you know, it has that twist at the end there. It's like, but I don't know the importance of any of this stuff. I don't know who that kid is, what I do not know.
Yeah. So me going into playing that was like, I gotta get this, I gotta play this because number 3 is coming out. After playing 2, I haven't touched 3. I'm like, I'll wait till it goes on sale.
Dude,
don't care.
Let me tell you this. 3, even more ridiculous with the story.
Jen told me, she's like, after me telling her how I thought about all this stuff, and I decided not to get number 3 and launch and all that, she told me what you thought, and I was like, yeah, that I'm gonna wait till that's like a fucking $10 game or something. I'm like, I'm in no rush.
I don't blame you. It's fun for sure. It's like all the games are fun as fuck to play, but they're
all the same mechanics, right? They're Bayonetta.
Well, this has a ton of new mechanics. Like it
does it? Really?
Yeah, it has like this new demon spawning thing where you spawn these big ass creatures out of the ground and they go and attack the monsters that you're fighting. But it slows down the pace of the game quite a bit too, because everything's about the witch time and getting
Come
that
say
perfect.
Hi. Come say hi.
Is it Dennis?
Yeah.
Dennis, can you hear me?
No. Well,
wait. I'm giving him an earbud.
What's up, dude?
Hey man, what's going on?
What's going on with you, brother?
I'm getting drunk. That's what I was going on with.
Oh, yeah. Y'all are
shitty ass week.
Oh, man. Y'all are partying tonight.
Oh, we'll play some games. And
Beers.
Yeah, and
that's
then
a
I'll
Saturday
pass
night
out.
for us.
You're 2 beer behind.
I know. I'm gonna go get caught up.
We'll get one.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, look, I'll let y'all go ahead and get going and get on with your night, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping by.
Dude, I had fun.
Thanks so much.
You know what? We had people like in comments ask us here recently about the Get to Know Gamers. Oh, how come you guys aren't doing the Get to Know Gamer and all that stuff? And it kind of just, I felt like it just had lost interest. I enjoyed like these kind of discussions and all that. Yeah. So I really enjoyed this. I had fun doing this. This was fun. Anytime you want to do this again, just ask.
Anytime.
Dude,
this was awesome.
Hey, I would like to get y'all on solo too, like individually. That would be fun.
That would be so cool.
To do that as well and just talk more shit. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Y'all have been so fucking supportive of me. Y'all are like really one of the only channels out there who have helped me, and y'all are a huge motivation to me. So I just appreciate y'all. I love.
You were too kind.
We appreciate you so much, Brandon. Dude. You don't even know. Like,
I consider you one of our YouTube friends.
Yes,
I hope to meet you someday.
No, it's happening. It's happening at Siege.
I'll be there.
Right.
I'll be there.
I'm not gonna hug you. I might shake your hand.
Oh yeah, I'll force hug you, Scott. I appreciate y'all, man, and we'll catch back up and do this again sometime soon for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Maybe next time, maybe like we do four of us get Moandain on here on this.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll hit up
cool.
Moandain. Yeah, and we'll
cool.
schedule that for sure.
I do that.
Hey, and if y'all ever want to do another Get to Know Game or anything like that, because the last time I didn't know how to do none of this fucking technology shit, but now I have it all set up where the shit works. I'm not talking through my iPhone. So if y'all ever want to do that, ever need me for anything, definitely.
I don't know what's going on with the Get to Know Gamer thing there. We actually kind of dropped it.
No, I think we just need to loosely format it and be just like, come on and talk with one person and just have fun.
It has to be like this. I think I got too involved with, I'm like watching people, because you can see people popping in and out, and I'm like, numbers compared to like over the span of the year, we were getting less support, we'll call it there, with view, like it's okay. People just aren't caring about this anymore.
Loved it. And
it's not and that's what I should focus on, because I was enjoying it. When you get like sit down like this, this was fun. I love this. That's what I have to focus on. I got into a point where in my own headspace it was like, okay, people are getting tired of this. Maybe we shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah. I could imagine like keeping up with the live chat and shit would be a bit of
that's me.
Yeah. I can imagine that was stressful as shit, trying to keep up with the conversation and the live chat and just navigating both of those spaces. I could see how that would be really damn challenging. But man, I appreciate y'all for coming on, and we'll definitely chat again sometime soon.
Absolutely,
man. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it, guys. See you soon. Goodbye.
See you soon.
Peace.